Hitting the button. Let me see if it's a rolling start. And I am waiting. Oh, I see stream health. Uh-oh. Receiving content. I guess that's good. And we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords Podcast and the Lords of Gaming.net, episode number 126. And it's another glorious Sunday. We're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm very excited about our special guest, and we've got Link's Awakening, 2 PlayStation 5 SKUs, E3 Evolution, and Microsoft hiding numbers to discuss, so we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord whom I had the pleasure of meeting in the flesh at Bethesda E3 2019. Not only is this Lord one of the most multifaceted content creators in the game, but he also provides insightful motivation for our dreams that may yet reside in another castle. Introducing the creator and host of the N64Josh Twitch, YouTube, website, and Nintendo Powercast. The author of the inspiring book, Another Castle. And Lords, grab your power glove because we're partying with the rock star and lead singer from Until Today. Album in store soon. Live from Seattle and making his debut into the realm of the Lords. My man, Lord N64Josh. How you doing, sir?
That was the best introduction I've ever heard in the history of introductions. Man, wow. I do all that?
That's you, sir. That's you, sir. How you doing, man?
I carry him around in my book bag.
I'm doing great. I just kind of rolled out of bed, so I still got that 6.
Yeah, we might have to turn your levels up a little bit, Josh. You got low.
Want me to crank it here?
Yeah, crank that up. We got to get that album sound.
Closer.
Yeah. There we
on.
go. Well, what's going on, man?
Is that better?
A little bit.
Is that better? Okay. All right. my gain's at max.
All right, cool. We'll figure it out. But otherwise, what's going on, man? I see you doing a Twitch stream. We had Link's Awakening going.
I am changing.
How's that sound?
Much better. You in the building.
Oh,
You in the building,
yeah.
baby. Let's go.
Yeah, talk to Google Hangouts. They defaulted to my on.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, I know.
Sorry about that.
Nah, it's all good, baby. Now you live.
Okay.
Now we got
All
the
right.
album.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about now.
Yeah.
I'm very open to blaming Google Hangouts at this point. So
Cool. So, yeah, doing great. I've been I've been doing a lot. I've got some stuff going behind the scenes.
Okay.
That's really, really exciting stuff.
Nice.
But it's been draining me.
Mhm.
I've been putting all my creative juices into this stuff that I'm working towards.
Okay.
So this weekend has been hey, I'm gonna take a me weekend,
Nice.
and that means I'm gonna stream for way longer than I typically would, right? So me weekend is still me creating because that's just the way I am. But
No doubt.
yeah, Link's Awakening, Call of Duty beta, the Goose Game. Well, I
Oh, you count the Goose
Game.
joint? We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah,
That joint's fun.
Yeah, I got it. I haven't started playing it yet. Link's Awakening's got its claws in me, and I like Call of Duty is so good.
I wish it had its claws in me.
So Call of Duty's good, man. I'm seeing the cross play going. Everybody having fun out here.
Oh, dude. I mean, I'm a shooter guy. That's my roots are
Yes.
I mean, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, that kind of stuff. That's
There we
where
go.
that's where I fell in love with shooters.
Mhm.
And I mean, Halo is where my love is at as far as when it comes to shooters. But I played a lot of Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 back in the day, and I have never touched Black Ops. I've never played a Black Ops game, and so when I knew this beta was dropping, I'm like, you know what? It's time. It's time. I've been playing little Gears 5 also. Just
Nice.
I had to take it. Nintendo just falling a little short in the shooter.
Yeah,
genre,
they gotta
you
get
know?
their shooter game together. Yeah, I agree.
So,
I agree.
Overwatch is coming, but yeah. So
No
been a good
doubt.
weekend.
No doubt, man. Good to have you in the realm. I know, like I said, we got a chance to meet back then. And shout out to Lord Ghost Supreme. He was with me. I think we met at the Bethesda joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was
And
great.
It was
great.
dope. Just chopping it, talking games. Told you we was going to keep my word. Have you
Yeah.
in the realm. So glad to have you, brother.
Yeah, glad to be here. Thank you so much.
You already know. And you already know we got the 4 horsemen of gaming. Those original lords of the realm here at the round table. My co-host with the co-most. My brother from another mother. The difficult game conqueror. Lord of Reviews, and the How of the Young Wolf. my man, Lord Addict. How you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good. Hold up, let me mute the podcast. I don't like hearing myself talk. All right. You're doing pretty good. Unfortunately, I know it might be 11:07 to some of you people, but it might as well be 7:07 to me. So it's gonna take me a minute to drink this.
That 5 hour energy drink.
You got that 5 hour. You sound like you on that 5 hour energy kind of time.
Look, man.
He's sounding all right, ready to
Look, man. I am raising my voice on I'm being a fraud right now. Okay? I am not in the mood to raise my voice like this. Guess what? I am raising my voice like this.
What's been going on, man? What you been playing?
I've been playing Borderlands. That's pretty much all. I'm done with it, so it's probably gonna go.
Borderlands.
Oh, come on now.
Hey, it's a good game, man. It's a good game.
Into the Randy pitch for love. What happened to
that went over quick. Good at it.
What went over quick?
The pitch for love, Randy pitch for love that he was talking about. Solve talking.
Oh no! Listen, I love that guy. I think that guy. If I'm doing something and he's my CEO or he's backing me 100%, I know he got my back. That's one thing I don't worry about. But I believe they pushed that game out just a tad bit early. I don't think it has anything to do with him per se. Honestly, probably the boardroom or something like that. Stuff that we talk about. So but from what I hear, I'm not purchasing. I'm a Game Pass dude. So whenever it drop in Game Pass, I'll give you my thoughts on it.
No doubt. Fair.
Is that your key moment to everything now? I'm gonna wait for it to come out.
You know what? When we get to my little segment, I'm gonna tell you why it's gonna stay my moment.
No doubt.
Slow-mo, there's not Borderlands slander going on. Literally, he just said what's wrong with the game.
Slow-mo on your head early. Slow-mo on your head early. I love it. Let's go.
It ain't bothering me. As long as you purchase and you like it, I'll wait for it to get the Game Pass when it's patched up.
No doubt. So that's been it, Addict?
Pretty much just Borderlands. I've been playing Phoenix Point, but that game just... It's so intense. It's taking a little bit, but that's it.
All right, no doubt.
Oh, and I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy VIII on the Switch. So.
Woo! I like that. See, there we go.
Look at that energy difference between me playing Borderlands.
I hear Switch. I get excited. You gotta say, Josh, there'll be a lot of Switch slander on this podcast. So when I hear that, I gotta get excited.
AKA, he takes us as clowning on stuff that everyone clowns on is slander. We talk about how the Witcher port looks. We're slandering.
Y'all be quick to bust your gun whenever Switch mess up.
We don't want to hear that. We don't hear about console.
Anyway, and of course, returning, we have our most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single-player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, Mr. Offline Profile Illuminati and Lord Patreon of the Iron Bank. My man, Lord Sovereign, how you doing, sir?
Very good. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you back. What's going on?
Refreshed.
As Medea would say, hello.
Good to have you back, sir. What's going on, man?
Good to be back, sir. I'm also frauding. I'm totally under the table, but you got to do what you got to do.
Are you legitimately under a table?
Damn near, because my dumb ass decided. I said, you know what? It's 1:30 a.m. Should I play some Gears or should I go to bed?
King, hold on 1 second, so. Hold on 1 second, so. King, we have a super chat, sir.
We have Blue, King. We got Blue.
Okay, shout out to my man Dizzy. With much love, I'm gonna read your super chat. Knees are old. King stalling. Hey, all right. You know, Dizzy. You know what?
You may be honest.
He onto something?
I think you're not on to anything. Actually, Dizzy, I think you're a little bit delusional, sir. But I want you to do this, Dizzy. I want you to have your credit card ready and ready to swipe out of that PlayStation when you got it.
Oh my god, ridiculous! Salute to Dizzy in the chat being petty. Back to Saul. What you been playing, sir? At 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, so like I said, I had to play some Gears, man. I haven't had a chance to touch it at all. I'm still in Act 1, but so yesterday I got to the part where I guess you think you're about to get extracted, and then the swarm comes, and the swarm is basically just the villains from the Matrix at the end, like that's what they are. But that scene immediately after that cutscene wow, man, like the whole screen is drenched in like blood, literally. Fire, like the colors, the HDR popping in that scene in particular
Bro,
was
it's fantastic.
What's funny is there's like a scene towards the end of the game with Marcus that like everyone is just cracking on. I'm sure you guys have seen it.
No spoilers. We got it.
Well, it's
Josh has not got there. I don't know yet.
It's not a spoiler.
I've only played
it's just a scene
multiplayer.
that
That's
Marcus says.
Yeah,
Oh,
see?
he didn't.
He ain't playing. We out here spoiling.
But yeah, so I'll leave it at that. That was just absolutely gorgeous. But besides that, man, a lot of nostalgia, man. I had to go and pick up that Genesis Mini, man. I hadn't pre-ordered anything. I was like, I'm not getting this. And then the last week, like I'm hearing such great things about it. I'm like, you know what? This is one of my all-time great consoles.
Cool.
Like, everybody has a story associated with their console,
Absolutely.
The launch day, whatever the case may be. So for Genesis, for me, it's a funny story because it was the first one I ever purchased on my own, and I did it with my summer work money. I used to work with my dad, right? So I remember that I had to spend my whole check to get it, right?
Wow.
And so much so that my dad agreed to pay for my anybody who's old enough will remember tokens.
Yes.
Train tokens. So
Yes.
he agreed to pay for my tokens for the following week, and I would pay him back, but I would use my whole check to get the Genesis. So it was funny because we went to purchase it at the Wiz.
The Wiz.
Shout out to the Wiz.
Nobody beats the Wiz. Let's get it.
I know you walked in the Wiz and you saw it on that big TV and it had it in the front that said "Rise from your grave."
Alter Beast, fam.
And that was it.
Yeah,
And
one please.
the funny thing was that my dad liked to torture me a little bit. So we got out that Friday, 1 o'clock. In the summers at his job, they used to get out at 1 o'clock. So I'm like, yes, I'm going home to play. I'm going to blaze all the rest of the day. So he's like, no, we're going to stop by and hang out with friends a little bit. So he had, rather than take me home, which is like 5 blocks away, he had me chill there with him for like 3-4 hours.
I know he was
while
tight.
I'm staring at the box in the car, like, please. So again, I had to get it. It's a beautiful. It's actually such a fantastic love letter. The games, the way they're set up, the way like when
Did you see the Japanese thing that they got going on? Are you going to order that?
You don't have to really, because you have the Japanese in. If you switch, it's
no. I'm talking about okay. You know that they have the whole potato stack. They have the 3DX. They have the CD,
power
CD. Yeah, and they have the cartridge for the Sonic and Knuckles converter, so you can do the whole sandwich stack.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, they got the stack, the old school.
Yeah, shout out to what was the Nintendo guy that we had on?
Nintendo Guru.
Nintendo Guru. He has it on his channel. Was it Nintendo Guru?
Somebody, I know somebody else too has it. I'm trying to remember who.
No, it's the first Nintendo guy that we. But yeah, that he has it on. I subscribe to these dude channels, and he showed that, and it looked magnificent. It's not functional, mind you, but the visual of it is amazing. It just looks truly amazing.
The aesthetic, no doubt. Yeah. So you cop last minute there.
Are we talking the Voltron of the Sega?
Yes. No doubt. So that's been it, Sov? Sov's going in and out, man.
Your mic is in the bushes.
Yeah, his mic's in the bushes. You might have to join and come out. Stream's a little weird, y'all, so bear with us. We're having some technical difficulties.
I might have to bite a Yeti.
Yeah, we got to see what's going on, man. Shout out to Nintendo Guru in the chat. It's not the Nintendo Guru. I don't agree with Sega Pride. Shout out to Nintendo Guru for being petty. Let's go.
Look, man, he been in there secretly until you said that. And he had to come out.
He had to come out just to address that slander.
He had to pull the Kool-Aid Man thing, break through the wall. That's not what I said.
One thing about Nintendo Guru, man.
My bad.
Because he be giving that good Sonic slander. And, of course, we have the Incredible Hulk of this, a.k.a. the Excess Gamer.
Ooh.
The Lord of Combat Sports, King of the Statues, who demands nothing less than that premium experience. It is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement.
Ooh.
Beloved. Lord King, how you doing, sir?
All you dudes out there talking about that Gears of War multiplayer is fire. Y'all get Fraud Alert by
What's going
it's
on?
like pulling teeth. It is the worst thing that I've played. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. All that I gotta be Dell to put a turret down. I am so sick and tired of that. Yo, I went to the box. I'm running. I said, yo, why I can only just pick up these stupid little barriers. Oh, that's not your specialty. What the hell are you talking about? That's not my specialty. I want to get into this. I want to play. Yo, I play with Monkey. I play with Green Mace. I swear, I hate that game. I hate the multiplayer.
This is slander.
That's right. It's slander. It's my slander.
It seems like you're playing Horde.
Yeah, I do. That's right. That's right.
Are you bad at it? Is that why you don't?
Oh, shots fired! Josh on him.
Yo, Josh, yes, I'm terrible. I'm so terrible.
Man, all I know is I can play Horde with my. I'm pretty sure I can play with my hands tied behind my back.
I made it up to level 50 something.
Okay.
And I'm doing. They tell me, yo, I was so pissed off. That
Is it Horde mode for like 40 and up?
Yeah, it's Horde. That got to be Horde. He's playing, right? With 5 versus the computer, right?
But
yeah,
that's like the age 40 and up.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah. I'm 40 and up. So check it out. So we playing it, right? So all the people in there is 40 and up. Yeah, you're right. So check. So I'm putting down the turrets. We getting the thing popping, and Monkey telling me, okay, so this is what you do. He said, but I want to shoot. I want to kill. He said, no. What Dell does is he runs around and he repairs.
yeah. Dell is the repair guy. Everybody's a specialist, King.
The hell? So they telling me I'm running around with a ratchet, fixing every goddamn thing. I'm saying, yo, I'm so pissed off. And they're like, yo, we got to turn it down and I'll be. And I'm running down. I'll be as fast as possible. Let me fix this.
You're looking like that meme of that pissed off dude. Like you're sitting there repairing that berry, just hating the world. I don't want to do this.
Just pick another class, man. You just Dell is not for you.
This is what I did, right? I turned my status off. I can stop playing with them, right? Now y'all know what happened to me. So I turned my status off, and I went and started playing Dead Cells, and I went and started playing all the great games that came out in Game Pass.
Wow!
And you know what's so crazy? Game Pass, they dropped the Gears 5, right? So people got the Game Pass, and they got the Gears 5 for free. So we thought that'd be it for the month. The boom banging games.
Yeah.
No, sir, that was not to be. They released 4 more games inside Game Pass.
Yeah, that Bloodstain, that Jump Force.
Listen, the Bloodstain, which I laughed at you guys so hard because y'all went out and spent that hardcore 60 and got the inferior Switch version, and I paid the $14. Actually, I didn't pay $14, but if I was to pay $14 for the Ultimate, I got that game and everything else in the superior version. The whole time, too. And I said, you know what? I'm on to something here.
You're on to something.
I'm on to something. I said, I don't need to buy games no more. I
just
sit here in Game Pass, play all the stuff that I wanted to play, and I don't have to buy that.
It's funny that you said that, King. Like, actually, I was talking to LordCognito a couple of days ago, and I was like, you know, you can literally just buy an Xbox and play just Game Pass games, and besides that, like occasional Call of Duty if you like that game, or like the 2Ks. It's like, and you can literally be okay with that, like, because they don't be putting just like games. They put games that come out there like 2 or 3 months ago in there.
It's true. And a lot of times, if you're just patient, like King is talking about, and you don't jump the trigger on the release of, like, again, a Metro or
I mean, you know, and that's like King's talking about. King talking about doing that with every game. You don't got to do that. If you want to play a game, go play a game.
But if you're patient,
don't have the mindset everything's coming to Game
you can
Pass.
get it.
Listen, Addict, I wanted to buy Metro. Something happened that I didn't get it, and it slipped through the cracks. Boom, it's on Game Pass, playing it. I didn't get Dead Cells because I'm not paying for no 16-bit looking game. But you know what happened? It came on Game Pass, and it's amazing.
I would love to see you stream that game.
That'd be crazy.
Yo, it's so much fun. And you know, I rage quit the other day. I ran out of my house.
You ran out of your house?
I swear to God, I ran out of my house. I had everything on my character. My health bar was amazing. I had all the stuff.
Well, what happens? You went to break shit. You're like, I can't break it in here. You went outside and broke shit.
Yo, listen. Is a little box, right? Is a little curse box. my stupid behind stuck my hand in the cursed box, right? Because I was like, okay. And I said, because I saw a chest. You know, you see a chest and you want to get it. So I stuck my hand in the chest and it bit it. It bit my hand and was shaking it. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And it said, now you are cursed. And God don't like you. And you got to kill 10 people so we can lift the curse.
Wow.
Dude, I was sweating bullets for 10 minutes running around trying to kill 10 people. I had one person left. I shot, he threw a grenade. He hit me and killed me. Yo, I wanted to toss the controller.
I'll do it then.
I just got my stuff and went for a nice brisk walk.
That game is mainly about memorizing like monster patterns because you have to fight them so many times because you have to restart the game so many times.
Yes.
So that's been it, King?
Yes.
No doubt.
I had to tell Sovereign, I wanted to let him know he was 100% right about Dead Cells probably being one of the games of the year. To be honest with you, the gameplay, it's amazing in its simplicity, but what you can do inside, like you can level up the weapons, you can change your perks. The stuff that you can do within that game, and they thought about it all the way through, and it's randomly generated. It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing, literally amazing.
Heard great things.
Not to mention that was that game that was the game that the reviewers stole that review from, and it got so much more publicity because of it.
Yeah, usage, right? Yeah. And of course, we have the Lord of the Cooperative Experience and Gaming Ninja himself, the Shinobi, LordCognito, spreading that realness in the realm of the IOP, not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So for me, it's just been Destiny 2, shout out to Addict, Sinister, Kaibatsu. We've been rocking, we've been grinding, just getting a lot of power weapons before Shadow Keep, getting that done. Sadly, did not cop Zelda's Awakening. Couldn't justify just yet. Hopefully next week I'll take that. But you know what I had to get, Josh? I had to get that Untitled Goose Game.
Of course you did.
Yo, that Goose Game is fire. Yo, that Goose Game is the most, like, this game teaches you how to be a nuisance to people.
Are we really, like...
Yes, we're doing the breakdown.
Something that's called the Goose Game?
It's Untitled Goose Game. Shout out to House Studio. Bro, that game is a lot. Yo, Josh, did you see how you could just terrorize people with this goose?
No, so it's downloaded. I haven't had a chance to play, but you watch the video and the goose walks up, grabs the farmer's sandwich on the bench, and just drops it in the pond. And he's like, "What?
What you gonna do? What's up? Yeah. Then I like when they scared of the goose. Like you can terrorize it. Some people don't like the noise. Yo, it is hilarious. Whoever made this stupid game, it is the funniest game with the most simple concept. It's just hilarious, man. Shout out to that. Yo, I never even heard of this game until recently. And then I just started watching. I'm like, yo, I have to have this, man. It is hilarious. So shout out to them. I've been rocking that. And then, yeah, man, other than that, just, obviously the same, the Astro Chain, the Fire Emblem, all that backlog stuff. So hopefully I will get Zelda next week. But,
and any Xbox stuff?
Yeah, Destiny. I said Destiny. I've been doing a little cross save.
But you be on PC with that, though.
No, I actually do cross save, sir. I'd be actually on Xbox.
What you doing in your Game Pass, though?
Because
you got Game Pass forever. So
yeah,
what's up?
I'm trying to think.
Forever.
To be honest, most of the games. See, here's my problem. I impulse buy too much. And a lot of times when it goes into Game Pass, I already have it. So I should have waited.
What's funny is he impulsed by Halo Wars 2 the night it came out and never played that.
And I should have waited. There you go. So that's why I said I'm not going to impulse buy just yet. I'm going to wait. Let me get my backlog together. And then, I'll rock out. But yeah, that's been it for me. But now that we got to what the Lords have been playing, I want to start off with Lord N64Josh. His video game system history, his journey as an author and recording artist, and of course, we'll let him to YouTube and the Nintendo Powercast. So, Lord Josh, let's start from the beginning. What was the first kind of video game systems you had, and what got you into gaming?
How much time you guys got?
We got all day, brother. Let's rock.
All right. Well, I got started in the arcades and with the Atari 2600.
There we go.
Did not own the 2600. I grew up on a 40-acre farm. My uncles lived together just in a mobile home right near the house I lived in. And the neighbor his older brother had an Atari. So I'd go to my uncle's, grab like Phoenix or Pitfall, and then we'd go to the neighbor's house and play until his mom kicked us out, right? So that's where it got started, you know. And then of course arcades, playing Punch Out, Excite-Fight, games like that.
Go.
Like, nice. You couldn't walk into an arcade without hearing body blow,
uppercut, uppercut.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah,
Let's go.
Yeah, right. So, fast forward a little bit. I'm swimming at my grandmother's house at the lake. She lived on a lake, and my step cousin has this gray box in the living room with this controller that has 2 red buttons and a D-pad, and I was like, "What is this?
What is this?"
Right? And he pushes the power button, and the Legend of Zelda comes up on the screen, and there's all these colors, and I'm like, "This is like the arcade at home." What is this?
I gotta back you up though. We forgetting the key point here. The only one at the time that had the gold cartridge.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing too. It's like glistening in the sun, like calling to me from the lake. I was like, what's that? What's shiny in the house? I must be right. So we fire that up. I get to see Link. My mom immediately runs in and she's like, "That looks like it could be magic. You ain't touching that." And that was it. Right? So you know, back in the water for me.
Wow, she banned the Zelda though.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude.
Thou shalt not play Zelda?
Dude, we laugh at this now, but like I couldn't watch the Smurfs because they were magic.
Oh,
magic
wait, hold on. I'm not to get too religious. JW or what? Not to. What was the joint that was shutting this down?
Just like non-denominational Christian.
Okay, yeah. So they was like that. That's bad. Them blue guys and they.
Oh,
that's the devil.
That Gargamel.
Yeah, Gargamel for real. Like, yeah, you gotta watch out. But I can watch the snorkels or whatever. You know, the snorkels.
Wow,
right?
the snorks.
Like I don't understand. Like these are just
But the
underwater
Smurfs
magic
was cursing.
Smurfs.
That's why she
How
didn't
come
let
the
you watch it.
I guess. I don't know. I couldn't watch Voltron because it was magic. I had to watch the vehicle Voltron, not the cat.
Oh
Voltron.
yeah, you can't watch the cat. Yeah. You know what? Thundercats was out for you too. Thundercats was out.
Oh yeah, way out.
Saw the Omens.
Wow.
Oh no, that's out. Yeah. Trust me, I know about them religious households. I know, Josh. I know that struggle.
No way. He-Man was not happening. Not happening. Like, not a chance.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yo, he talking real Lord's Day talk.
Okay, here we go. I get that aunt that brought my step cousin to the house that had the Nintendo. She noticed how much I wanted this thing, and come Christmas morning, here's this giant box that says "to the family," and I'm thinking, oh sweet, it's like a board game, you know, whatever. Yeah. Well, of course they put it on my lap. I ripped the thing open, and my sisters are like, "We're out," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's happening!" Right? I got Mario, Duck Hunt, the gray zapper, the only zapper that matters.
Nice.
You know, and my parents are like, "You get 45 minutes a day, and do not touch that thing on Sundays." I'm like, "Oh,
so, all right. We got some flexibility. That's cool."
Yeah. So you know what I do, right? Every kid did this back in the day. You tiptoe past their bedroom at like 4 a.m. on a Saturday, and you hope your dad doesn't watching something too loud on that TV. You turn it on. Get your game going. Then they finally come out and they're like, "All right, timer started." I'm like, "Yeah, timer started."
You've been blazing already. That's what's up. Nice, man. So started with the NES rocking on. So then from that point on, you stayed in the ecosystem, the Nintendo ecosystem from that point on?
I did. Yeah, I mean, I'll just hit a couple quick favorite games, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game. That one was one I had to finally convince my mom, like, it's just fighting. There's not that much magic. Look, I was lucky.
That much magic.
She didn't read the instruction manual for Super Mario Brothers because it was like Bowser's black magic is what turns everybody into bricks. I'm like, I gotta hide this thing. I had to burn the book because otherwise Mario would have been out. You know? So,
wow.
You gotta be careful.
Gotta be careful, man.
Yeah, so, you know, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, was the first game as a kid that I watched the sunrise because I'd been playing all night. Like, that was the firfirst time I'd ever done an all-nighter. I was at my buddy's house. He fell asleep. I was like, dude, I just beat it with one turtle, beat it with the next turtle, beat it with the next turtle. Like, that's all we had, right? It was all we had. So,
no doubt.
But then, fast forward a little bit, and Super Nintendo came out, and my parents came through big. And they were, I mean, look, no magic, no fighting games. That was it. My aunt gets me Street Fighter 2. I immediately ripped that thing open. I'm like, ain't getting returned now. Like it ain't happening. My buddy and I, we had to walk, like, this is no joke. I sound like such an old man, but we had to walk to this rental store. We're in the country, and this gas station had a rental store. We had to walk uphill both ways. I'm not joking because there were so many hills. And they had Street Fighter. I played that thing. I was like, like this has to be mine. This has to. So when I opened
classic
that up,
for its time.
Yeah, it was game over. So, yeah, you know, time trials and stuff on Mario Kart with my uncle,
Nice.
and just hours and hours of gaming on the Super Nintendo. Love that system.
I gotta ask you this because there's a lot of Sega kids on the panel. So was it more the fact that Nintendo, because you were introduced to it, were you unaware of it, or was it the fact also with the parent thing, or maybe like that Sega thing ain't gonna fly, or just maybe their games didn't really appeal to you at that time?
Well, okay, so like I had a best friend growing up, and he had the Nintendo also. So like games like when Super Mario Brothers 2 came out, like I can't, like people get excited about games now, but we have that excitement like every other day. There's a new game we're excited for. Like back then, it was like, you know, you'd get the first issue of Nintendo Power, show Super Mario Brothers 2, and then that game's not coming out for a while, but that's the only game that's kind of being talked about, or the big game anyway, you know. So like there's a different level of hype that happened back then. I remember when the game finally dropped, there was a chip shortage, so like I didn't get the game till like a year after it came out. My mom, I saved my money and she had it in her purse, but it was never ever available. And I remember when she finally came home with it. But he was, you know, so him and I together, he had different games. So Nintendo was just kind of, you know, most of the kids in the neighborhood had the Nintendo. It wasn't, except for the one rich kid that had both. And
salute to him. Salute to the rich kid.
Yeah. And so I would go stay at his place quite often and play Sonic and Shinobi and you know, Mortal Kombat with the blood, right?
Ooh.
You know, that kind of stuff, because that was my jam.
No doubt.
And you know, shout out to General Chaos. It's one of the best Sega games. Nobody's ever played it, but I love that game. Like I love it. It's like original Fire Emblem, you know, like it's just way back in the day.
Salute.
So yeah. So so I wasn't like I wasn't like a I didn't really hate the Sega. I hated the PlayStation. That's what I hated.
Wait, hold on. We doing PlayStation slander? Wait, what's going on here? What's happening? How did this happen?
I like this guest.
He's on to something now. He's on to something, Addict.
He's on to
Man,
something.
you welcome here anytime.
Oh my God. We ain't gonna do this PlayStation. But I gotta hear this story. What's this about?
All right. So Nintendo 64 comes out, right? I buy GoldenEye and I buy Mario Kart. Those are two. I didn't. Here's a fun fact. You guys can all. This is like one of the questions I asked on my shows is, what is a game you haven't played or haven't completed that we're all going to judge you for?
Yeah.
You guys can judge me. I did not beat Mario 64 until last year.
Wow.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not judging you, dude. I don't. I've never beat The Witcher. I get judged by that all the time. So
you ain't the only one.
You ain't never played The Witcher? Yeah.
I have it in my collection. It's never been in my Xbox.
Absolute. It happens. These things happen. So wait, get to this part about the 64. You got these. What's the PlayStation beef about?
Okay, so I go to I had never played it. I go to a buddy's house. First of all, I'm like, "Where's the shooters?" Right? And there's no shooters to be found that anybody that I could find anyway. Remember, this is pre-internet. This is like 96, right?
Yeah,
like,
Disruptor.
Like the internet was like chat rooms. That was about
facts.
Like,
yeah,
you know, the movie The Net was like the scariest thing around. Careful, you can order pizza. You know? I go to his house. We play Mortal Kombat, and there's these loading screens, and I'm like, "What is this loading screen?"
This the conscious life kicking in right now.
I am like, I'm giving up game time watching this thing start loading. How are you okay with this? I could put in Killer Instinct Gold right now, and we'd play twice the amount of matches. Like, no, like
the disrespect.
Not to mention, like, I can't shoot you in the face with any of the games you have here. Let's go play GoldenEye.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
So So I mean, look, I've beat 2 JRPGs my entire life. Two. Pokemon Yellow and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That's it.
Wow. So that really it just wasn't appealing to you. Like it just that.
He said that loading screen.
So wait, not
was
even
the
hold on. So I get the loading part. So not even like the graphical bliss of PlayStation. Like PlayStation 1 was a monster. That didn't even attract you how the games looked.
Dude, I wanted to set Crash on fire when I saw him at Nintendo headquarters with that megaphone. I was like,
oh, he was outside the Nintendo. Oh, see,
Yeah.
all right, you was fanboying. Let's get right to it. So this was the inner Nintendo of you wasn't feeling this young, aggressive Sony, and they had Crash outside your building talking his talk, and you like, this is trash. This ain't compared to Mario.
no, I was like, give Mario a fire flower and let him take this guy out.
I got it. That was that brash young Sony that was just on the scene talking that talk.
Yeah. Now I wish they put him in Smash with that megaphone to be like, like I think it'd be a great final Smash. Give him that giant megaphone,
No doubt. So we skipped
now,
PlayStation.
Totally. I like no question.
I don't need to buy that.
Look, Perfect Dark was like I played more perfect. I had 32 days played on Perfect Dark. They track your time, like not hours. It said 32 days.
Wow.
My kids eventually erased my little memory card that went in the controller. Remember?
Wow.
And so that was a sad day. I was near perfect in that game. I never hit the number. I was number 2. I could never hit. You had to kill X amount of human players. The Sims didn't count. So, keep that in mind if you're still going for that on the Xbox or whatever. It's on Game Pass. You guys have been talking about it.
No doubt.
Go for it. So tons of Perfect Dark, tons of Mario Kart, Mario Golf, Mario Tennis. I just kind of love all things Mario, right?
No
It's
doubt.
just kind of once I had that taste back in like '87 or whatever, it was kind of game over for me.
No doubt. Hold on 1 second.
And,
Shout out to Stitch 669 with the $2 super chat. This guest is definitely on to something. Yeah, the chat is just polarized with the PlayStation. Hey, some people are loving you, and some people are like, what's going on?
Christopher Hart right now.
Christopher Hart is silent. I haven't seen. They shout the boss movie. He's like Christopher Hart probably passed out with all the PlayStation. It's kind of funny. But I just gotta ask you because I noticed you said a key thing, and I think it's making sense to me. You basically said, the GoldenEye was your baby, that shooter, right? The fact that at that time maybe PlayStation didn't really have that, you weren't really into JRPGs, is that maybe then what kind of transitioned you to like Xbox? Because I know you have a big Halo and background as far as what is your love there.
Okay,
Let's get to it.
Here it goes. Quick, cool story. I was newly married at 18 years old. I think we were.
Wow.
I think we were both 20 when the GameCube came out. Right.
Okay.
So I think we had our first kid. Or the first kid was on the way. Okay. And so not a lot of cash. Wife is saving tips at the coffee shop, and Christmas morning, I'm not expecting anything, mind you, like
based on the situation.
And there's a GameCube, and every family or friend's house that we went to was controllers, Rogue Squadron, Smash Bros, everything. Like we're talking like the ultimate Christmas with the GameCube. So, I'm waiting on Perfect Dark 2. Smash has got the proximity mine as a little trophy, right? Like, I'm like, Perfect Dark's going to be the thing. What is this Halo nonsense? Move along. Like, you're not even on the same level as Perfect Dark. And then Microsoft purchases Rare.
Yeah, what's up? Bend the knee. Bend the knee now. You got to bend it.
Right? And I was a youth pastor, and these kids are like, you got to come play Halo with us. And I'm like, with that giant Big Mac of a controller, I'm not coming to play Halo on the Duke.
The Duke was dumb big.
So I sit down, I look down, and I'm just like, this grass looks amazing. Like this grass. I'm trying to play on the GameCube. I'm trying to play like these James Bond games that are just garbage. Like Agent Under Fire, Nightfire, like they're hot garbage. The first good shooter on the GameCube was Time Splitters 2, which came over from PlayStation. Might be a PlayStation,
it was
right?
a port,
So, yeah, it's an heir apparent to GoldenEye. I'm like, okay, finally something I can hang with here. But no, as soon as I played Halo, I fell in love, and the month that Xbox Live came out, I bought an Xbox. It came with Splinter Cell and Mech Assault.
Yes.
And then 2 months later, I moved to a place that had broadband, because it was hard to even find broadband back then.
Yeah, that's right.
And so got DSL, got Xbox Live.
DSL, son, he's throwing out some terms, song.
Listen. You know what's funny? What I find absolutely hilarious is that he was not willing to wait for PlayStation load times, but he was gonna wait for that Xbox load.
It's the shooter in him. It's the shooter.
He said he saw that Halo. He said, "I don't care how much I gotta wait. The grass looks great."
Yeah, the grass looks great. That's it.
No, did you do any LAN parties or anything like that, or you were waiting till?
So as a youth pastor, I had all the people I wanted to play with all the time, right?
Nice.
So we're carrying. My house was always full of CRTs and Xboxes, and
talk that LAN party talk. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, well, so first, my son was 3, and I'm not exaggerating, and I'm like, he's just like, I kind of skipped all the like Mario stuff with him. I'm like, just play Halo, bud. I need somebody to play Halo with.
You grew him up fast.
Murder these aliens.
So,
Let's go kill, son.
No, so for real, he has a spider in his room. He runs out. He's like, "Mom, I need a grenade." It's like, you're not getting a grenade. No, like this is not happening. We see someone in a crosswalk. He's like, "Hit him, Mom. Hit him." She's like, "Okay."
I'm dead.
You are not playing Halo anymore, right? But I put him up against three of my buddies, right? Like they are all like, okay, they're on Blood Gulch, right? And one of them's in a tank.
Blood Gulch.
My son pulls out his pistol and takes him right out of the tank. Doesn't say a word to anyone. Puts his controller down and leaves. And my 3-year-old beat all 3 of my buddies.
You said the 3-year-old.
3 years old.
Yo, that first of all, that pistol was a beast. Let's just get to it.
Wait.
Okay.
How proud of you as a father at that point that he beat your boys.
Oh yeah, for real. It was the best. Now, I mean, mind you, these were not like your seasoned Halo vets. These were just like
grown ass men
off the street. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is what happened for Halo 2. You guys know, like at Christmas time, like where like your mom would like take construction paper and make little rings, and you'd rip one off each day to get closer to Christmas. Anybody do that when they were a kid? Well, that's what I did for him with Halo 2. He had a big Halo 2 logo in the kitchen with these gray rings coming off, and he would rip a ring off every day as we would get closer. And so
countdown.
And I had gotten injured at work. So darn it, I was stuck on my couch from like September or from August until December, and Halo happened to launch then. Oh shucks.
Wow.
And so here it is, Halo 2. I remember he comes running out of his bedroom that morning and is like, let's go. Let's throw down in this campaign right now. We go visit family later on. It's me and my boy against my uncle and his boy, and we're doing capture the flag on Blood Gulch. And I'm like, you're in the base, you're getting the flag? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I think there's someone in there. He's like, oh, don't worry, it's just Ken. That's my uncle. He wipes him out, grabs the flag, runs up. My uncle's like looking at him like, what do you mean, don't worry, it's just Ken, you know?
That is hilarious, bro. Yo, Halo 2 changed the game, bro. Like that to me, I mean, that set off Xbox Live. Like that was the one of the perfect.
That might be.
Yeah.
That might be one of the most disrespectful things I've ever heard. Don't worry, it's just kids.
It was so hilarious. That's his wingman. They have bonded in video game blood.
There's someone in the house. Don't worry, it's just Ken.
It's just Uncle Ken. He's nobody. I got him dead.
Yo,
Just walk out with nothing on him, no scratches, and kids like bloody all over the wall.
You know what's funny? Uncle Ken probably had the drop on him, and he just turned around. I was like, "This is Uncle Ken. Don't worry about that. Let me get this flag. He don't need this flag.
He don't know about that. That's what's up, man. Xbox Live with the DSL going. So you was in a good place right there.
Oh yeah. So Crimson Skies was another game that I played a lot. So and then my wife got into it, right? And I remember one night I go to bed and I can hear that she's talking with these guys. They're kind of flirting with her, right? On Xbox Live, they're like, "Oh, we'll teach you the ropes." I'm like, I come out, I'm like, "Give me the controller." I just wrecked these cats, right? Just completely. And they were like, "Hey, maybe you could teach us something." Right? So I go back to bed. But she got so into that. At one point, we had 2 Sony Trinitrons next to each other with 2 Xboxes because we were tired of doing split screen. And my favorite thing to do in that game is you'd get a single like large star if you were the highest level, right? People come in, how do I get the star? I'm like, oh, as fast as you can, hit B up A. And half the room would leave because they would all exit right out of the
game. Yo, salute, man. Your FPS game is crazy, bro. I got to ask you one, I got to fast forward you a little bit. I got to ask you one question. Another thing I see in your history is that a lot of the Lords, this Iron Lord podcast, the name itself obviously has some Destiny connotations. So I saw Destiny in that bio, man. Talk to me about that.
Okay, so when Destiny 1 dropped, I started the Loot Cast, and then I joined the Dads of Destiny podcast, which turned into
Dads of Destiny.
Yeah, which turned into Aim Assist.
Yeah,
and so quite a history with that community, charity events. Bungie invited me to the Destiny 2 reveal.
Wow.
So it was quite a run with that game. Love those guys. I'm actually getting a beer on tomorrow with Cosmo, the community manager.
Salute! That's right.
Yeah.
It's right. That's gonna be your backyard because everyone's in Seattle, right? For the most part.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what's up, man. Oh wow, I didn't even realize that. Yo, jealous, brother. Like that. That's definitely one of the games of the Lords. Minus off, he's Destiny hater, but we ain't gonna get into
that. So here's the thing: when the Switch and Destiny 2 kind of came out, they kind of overlapped. I fell off with Destiny 2. Like you could just see Activision's like heavy hand, just kind of ruining that game, right? And you could even kind of see it at like kind of early on. It was just like this. They got that. I mean, we saw it in 1, right? They chopped up and cut so much stuff. Marty got fired. Like it was just
it's a mess. Yeah,
it was kind of a mess, especially when you look at the roots of what Bungie is and how great they are and how it was just a shame to see like the shaders costing money and
vanilla D2 was like, rough. Yeah,
and it just you could just tell that it was like this wasn't Bungie.
Yeah. You could tell that there was influence behind the scene, and I hear you on that because the community, it was probably at its all-time low right after. It was a honeymoon period when it launched, and then once people started to get behind the scenes and see what was going on, they started to pick it apart, and community really fell low. And at that time, I remember, shout out to Ebontis, we actually started our Destiny podcast, right, the last word, right at the time Destiny was at its lowest, because we were like, yo, these is what they need to fix. They need to get back to roots. They need to get out of this Activision, and give the hardcore what they want instead of making it this casual game that we didn't really like. And then it's a shame that you left because, when Forsaken came out, that was definitely like a pinnacle moment. And definitely started to get things in the right track. But you don't know, maybe September, man, free to play. We might.
I fired it up about 2 weeks ago. I fired it up. I needed a shooter, and I was like, "Hey, I hear things are looking up." So
nice, man.
So I fired it up, and jumped. I'm so low level, and I don't even know what the meta is for guns, anything like that in multiplayer. And but so many good memories. I met so many incredible people, like Mark Turcotte from Guardian Radio.
Yes.
He was the one that told me he was like, get your branding on point and just start doing Destiny. It's going to be huge. So that's what I did.
Salute
Fun
Turcotte.
fact, the Loot Cast was originally called The Last Word, and my first guest was Cosmo before
Stop!
he was community manager. I'm not kidding you.
Stop playing. Yo, this is crazy right now. Because shout out, that's funny, y'all had it. And then I want to shout out Scarrow9. He had it. And then what we did is we went to everybody, me and Ebontis, on some real respectful thing, because obviously we the new cats in the game. So we like, yo, you guys had the name. We want to, if you guys are not using it, and they were like, no, go for it. You guys are good representatives of the community. Like, we give you, they gave us the blessing, you know what I'm saying, to use the last word. So this is great. And we had, it's funny you said that, Mark Turcott was one of our first guests, you know what I'm saying, from Guardians. So, good dude, man. Salute to those guys. Crazy stories, man. This is crazy, the connections, the stuff that's going on. But
so I mean, you might know Guardian Outpost.
Yes.
You know who that is? Yeah, so he was a co-host on the Lootcast for a while. We actually did the show live at Guardian Con 2 years ago.
Oh, wow. Dope. That was my first one.
Really? You were there?
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, right on, dude. Right on. So yeah, tons of fun with Destiny and Bungie and all that stuff. Like,
dope, man.
Just good times. And so I'm excited to jump back in. The hard thing is like once the Switch came out and I started the Nintendo Powercast. Yeah. There were so many games. And the indie devs start sending you games, and I'm like, okay, I'll do a 15-minute first look. That's pretty much the best I can give you because I'm a one-man show. I had one day I uploaded 15 YouTube videos because like I played that many different games just to try to get a little bit of info to my community about it. So so I really didn't have time. Then I started the Smash Bros. Cast when Smash was announced. I wanted to learn to play competitively. We went and played Genesis 6.
Nice.
And I went 1 and 2. I won my first match. I was pretty stoked about that. Right?
So basically, what you're saying, Josh, is that Nintendo has so many games, you just ain't got time for nothing.
That was kind of the case earlier this year for sure. But I'm a workhorse. Yes. Right. I get up at 2:30. I go to the gym. I work 10-hour day.
Salute.
At
Same
break. At break, the one break I get, I walk a mile. So I don't get off of my feet until after 10 hours, like because I'm building custom cabinets. Okay. Right. I come home, I stream for 3 hours, and then I try to do a little bit of family time before I crash again, and rinse and repeat. And that's Monday through Thursday.
Wow.
So
wait, you said you're building custom cabinets. Excuse me, sir. I might have to get your phone
number. King
Mike,
you just King like that.
Yeah. You see that statue that's in the back right here? You might have to get some of your hardware together to box that brother up. I'm doing another room in the back. Oh yeah.
All right. Let me know. We can talk.
No doubt. We get some profits. That's what's up. Continue. So you said all that time invested.
So. I don't even play games for fun, right? To sit and so for me after E3, I've been going hard. What's cool? Nintendo started the Nintendo Power Podcast. What's funny is I then got the all of that search engine juice that I was the only name in the algorithm when they dropped.
Oh wow!
So it shot my downloads like through the roof.
Wow!
Right, and grew my community extensively.
Dope.
Because a lot of people were like, oh, I thought this was the official one, and then a handful were like, I think I like this better than the official.
Salute for the algorithm. Salute.
So they stuck with me, right? And sometimes you just get lucky that way.
Yeah.
And so, have an amazing community. We're always gaming. We're always talking games. It's all been just
shout out to your team. Was it Hate Zero and Crawler?
Yeah, Crawler right now. And I mean, the original crew was like Destinaut was my original boy back on the Loot Cast, and
no
he came
doubt.
Up, and he's back hanging out now. So
that's what's up, man.
It's
been good.
It's just good times. We're just, Mario Kart's been my jam on stream, it's just
it's been a good
Mario
run,
Maker
sir.
2, all of it.
It's a good run. Keep it going, man. Love what you guys are doing. Shout out to Guru. I don't know if he's still in here, but yeah, man. Like I came across you guys there too, and obviously love to seeing you guys interact together, and just like seeing the energy and what you guys are doing. I just gotta sidetrack you. One last thing before I gotta ask some other big question is the other talents of Josh, which is obviously, you have the tremendous motivational book, the Other Castle. And then another thing is your boy could sing. Like, you gets busy. Like, people don't realize, like, you out here. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a group. What is it? Until Today. So
Until today.
So tell me about that whole joint. You know, with the book, and then obviously, you know, the musical prowess.
So, like, I mean, a lot like building community and trying to turn this side hustle into a full-time gig, right? I got to come up with products to sell, right?
No
and
doubt.
so I have struggled back and forth with depression and having it just beat me down, and so I wrote this book, Another Castle, and it's my struggle with depression illustrated with Super Mario Brothers. And
It's a dope analogy.
you
By the
know,
way. I love how you put it together.
sometimes in life, like we're climbing the mountain to get a better view of the mountain, right? And in Mario, we get to the end of the castle, we're like, yes, I beat the game. It's especially when you're an Atari kid, when you get to the end of the fourth level, the fourth, you know, World 1-4, you're thinking, oh, this is it, like this is the end of the game. And there's this little toad that's like,
nah, fam,
sorry man, your princess is in another castle. I was like,
Facts.
what? Right? And so, and sometimes that's life. You think you're gonna hit that goal, and it's like, no, sorry, your princess is in another castle. And you know, it sucks, but it's like, hey, you know what else do I get to learn? What else do I get to, how am I going to level up here so that I can get to that get to that next castle? And so, you know, if we can keep our perspective like that, where it's like, instead of getting frustrated at the lack of a goal, just being excited that the journey continues, and you're still capable and you're still able, and just, you know, put your head down and work, baby.
Talk that talk, baby. That's what I'm talking about, man. I saw the joint, and I know you got the little motivational joint too, and I peeped, and I was like, yo, I'm feeling this cat, because that's real. You know what I'm saying? That's real. A lot of times we get down on certain things, it's not getting the goal, but you're not appreciating the journey. And like I said, that joint might not be for you right now, but you just keep pushing, and you will get there, or you get to that blessing that eventually, you know, that hopefully that you do want. So that right there. And then the second thing was obviously, you know what I'm saying, the group, you know what I'm saying? So is it like you and your man? How many people in the group?
Just me.
Okay, so it's just you and your mans, you know what I'm saying?
It's just me.
Just you solo.
Kyle from Cupertino.
Yes.
He's the drummer that's in GarageBand.
Right.
So that's who's drumming for me. Other
That's
than
dope.
that, I play all the other instruments. And just, yeah, like, I mean, I've been playing music since I was 16. We got to play over in Russia a couple times, going with church groups, playing some heavy metal, things like that. Like, I've kind of played the gambit of like real mellow stuff to like real heavy stuff. And right now, Until Today, we can find it on SoundCloud and YouTube.
That's right. Pump. Tell them about that mixtape. No,
Right.
Let's go. Let's get it. Let's plug right now, baby. It's up on SoundCloud. I heard 2 tracks. Let's go.
Yeah, I think there's 9 tracks right now. I'm waiting for a tweet to go viral.
He said the hold on cog. He said, we got 9 out right there. Ain't 2.
Don't limit me to that damn 2, man. I got 9 tracks out there.
Salute, man.
So it's kind of fun. A couple months ago, we went on vacation for a week, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna write 5 songs in 7 days while on vacation. I brought my iPad, a couple microphones, a little iRig, and it was again like the 5 stages of depression that I went through, and so that's what that little, there's a little EP on there that you can check out.
Yo, Chris, they don't believe. Christopher Hart said you got to spit some bars. They want to hear the voice. He said he don't believe. He said, let's hear it. Let's hear something. Can we get a freestyle? Can we get something?
Like, do you want me to get the guitar?
He wanted acapella. They wouldn't know if you got the pipes. They wouldn't know.
He said he want to make sure you ain't Drake in it.
Yeah, we can't ghost ride my boy like that. We can't do that.
Okay, all right. So I got this. I'm just this first song that comes to my mind is I don't even remember the title. Like, here's the thing: I've been writing these songs so fast, I don't even remember how to play most of them.
Give me the hook. Give me the hook, though.
They're recorded, but okay. Here's the end of the song. This is, I mean, it's like sappy love song. It goes like this. It goes, I'm jealous of the night light tonight as it touches your beautiful face. There's one. Wait. Here it is. Here's what I'm gonna give you.
Right,
Nobody's heard this.
We get exclusive.
This is
Let's go.
a Legend of Zelda song.
Oh,
right, called "It's Dangerous to Go Alone." Here's the chorus.
Let's go.
Hang on. Let me get the words down here. Okay, here it is. It all started with a bearded man with a sword in his hand saying, "Take this. It's dangerous to go alone."
Okay, okay, let's go. Almond stores right now. SoundCloud is up. My man Josh with the pipes. Let's get it, man. Spitting bars. No doubt. We got some applauses in there. No doubt. We got some meows in there. We got some yeses in the chat. Let's go. Boss Move said the mixtape is going to be on Dat Piff.
Did you say Dat Piff?
Yes, he did. He said Dat Piff. Dizzy said, is that American Idol going on or the Lord? Yo, this is lit right now. We lit right now. Yo, salute to yo. Thank you for even doing it. I put you on the spot. I know I did you kind of crazy. But I had to have some fun. But real quick, so we got to ask this question that we ask every guest. I need Lord N64Josh, your top 5 games or franchises of all time.
Okay, well, Super Mario Brothers is going to be the top franchise, right? Mario Kart. I can't put these in. I've never put these in order. I can't.
No order. Just
right. So
just comes to mind.
But and when I say Mario games, I'm talking 3D to 2D, like all
everything,
of it, right? But Mario Kart then also gets its own franchise because it's kart racing,
of
right?
course.
So Super Metroid was the first time I had like an emotional experience with the game. Like, spoilers, but when that Metroid came down to save you, I was like, "You killed Ted, you medieval dick!" I'm like 12 years old. Like, "Dad, my Metroid just saved me. It gave his life for me." He's like, "What the hell's a Metroid?"
Mario Kart, Metroid. That's 3.
Halo.
Oh, yes. Let's go.
Yeah, Halo's got to be in there.
Let's go.
And then
number 5.
Man, oh man, there's just so many games. Legend of Zelda.
No, of course. You gotta throw Zelda in there. Salute, no doubt. Strong 5. Respect out here. Tremendous history, Josh, man. I love what I'm hearing. So we gonna get into the show. We got lots of stuff to talk about. So
we are an hour in, by the way.
I know.
So
that was the intro.
I told you.
No. We love. Listen, we told you. Can you stay? Because this is how we rock. Remember, I asked. I was like, "Yo, we long form, brother." Just letting you know, but it's all good, man. We love this kind of stuff. Tremendous history, man. So, last week's poll results are in, and the people have spoken to the question: with both the latest gameplay and information reveals of Death Stranding at TGS and Gamescom, how has this affected your excitement of its release on November 8th for PS4? The winner of a highly contested 3-way ILP poll at 39% is the "I'm more excited for Death Stranding. Kojima is attempting something cool and unique" group. Coming in at second place, very close, 32%, was the "Death Stranding is a FedEx baby walking simulator, throw it in the bushes" group. And in last place, with a razor close 30%, was the "I don't care, Konami might be onto something." Shout out to all the lords who participated in the poll. I gotta get Lord Addict on this. He's been the biggest supporter of Death Stranding, so I need his input. Lord Addict, the people must have straitjackets according to you, because they all voted that Kojima is onto something. They're feeling Death Stranding. So I need
They
your
don't have straitjackets. They will soon. Trust me.
So what do you feel? The people, man, they not agreeing with the lords. They said they think this is unique and cool.
Look, man, sometimes even smart people are wrong. So,
Dizzy, just because you asked for it, you knew all those dudes was frauding. So, but Dizzy, I don't know if you watched last week. I'm gonna be buying that baby walking simulator.
Yeah, you in. I already know you in. Oh man, so no doubt
I gotta buy it just for the dirty water, baby.
Salute to everybody in the poll. We already know what's going on. We got a new poll at the end of the show, but we're gonna get into these topics, man. Lord,
can I use my Pokeball to level up that baby as I was? I'm just curious.
You gotta shake the baby.
No, don't.
I can't with y'all. Y'all stupid. Y'all stupid. Anyway, moving along from the Death Stranding slander. Oh, yeah, we just got to get into it, man. Lord Addict, I don't know if you picked it up, but we'll start with you and Josh. Zelda's Awakening, man. It is out here in the streets. The reviews are going down. Looks like currently sitting at an 88 Metacritic right now. So
that's too low.
That's too low?
That's too low.
Too low for
okay,
Nintendo?
first of all, let me tell you something.
Break it down.
That game, it didn't start it off because it was other top-down games, but y'all wasn't like aware of those games. Mm-hmm. But this quintessentially made that genre what it is. That game is a pillar. So a remake, and it looks gorgeous. The scores is too low. No, that game should have a 98 Metacritic. It should be higher than that. And I didn't even play it yet, but I'm buying it, and I'm definitely going to buy it. But from what I saw, from what I know of the game, I don't care what anybody say. That game is supposed to be a 98. And anybody out there frauding, I know I may joke about the Switch. I know I may tell you all this stuff about the Switch. That's the stuff that I want from the Switch. Right. So when they do something that I want and it looks amazing, it looks amazing. I don't give a what anybody say. That game definitely. No, I ain't getting. I know. You ain't good. My level of frustration with it is that this Metacritic stuff is formulating people's opinion about a game that they either didn't play or never experienced. Let's say Tommy goes to the store and he's doing Metacritic. Oh, I think this is a 82. I don't want to get that because this game. No, this is the game that you definitely need to get because it's going to be a pillar inside your gaming memories. That's a great game. I'm going to pick it up today.
No doubt. So let's get it. I think Sasav, did you pick it up?
Yeah, I definitely picked it up. And
okay,
I don't have. Do you want me to go at it?
No. I just wanted to know if you picked it up first, and I was gonna ask. Because I'm gonna assume Josh probably has the most experience out of all of us right now as far as playing it. So Josh, let's get to you, man. Just now that you've been ingratiated with it, you had the weekend. You kind of said you're gonna dedicate to streaming it and stuff like that. What's your overall feeling and impressions of the game so far?
So, I love it. Period. That's it. I love it. It's exactly what I was wanting for this weekend of like kind of just me time, right? Yeah, and like as much as I love Breath of the Wild and that open world stuff, like this, like having just that classic Zelda formula back. This thing is like, I don't use words like cute or adorable very often, but this game is adorable, right? Yeah. Like it's like you're playing in your toy box with these characters. I mean, look at this.
Exactly.
Look at this guy here. I mean, if you're
King is in law. King, you and King are best friends now.
I'm down with you.
Yeah,
he is Amiibo King. That's what's up.
You see them over there, right? They all over there. They're all over there. Can you see them? Can you see them?
Love it. You see them? So, fun fact, behind me in that closet is every amiibo still in its box.
Oh, these two are best friends. It's a wrap.
God bless you.
It's a wrap. Continue. So wait, quick question. Gotta slow you on the amiibo. What does it give you specifically? Because King is all about his advantages, premium advantages for amiibo. Does it give you a premium advantage?
This gives you, hang on. It says it somewhere on here, I think. It gives you Shadow Link in the dungeons.
I'm running to the store.
So we get an exclusive behind paywall content for King. He loves this.
Amazon right now.
And you can use the amiibo to share and trade custom dungeons with your friends. It takes 5 amiibo to unlock all of the other features of the dungeons. There's stuff that's unlocked behind amiibo, and I don't know that it matters which amiibo. I don't think it does. But yeah, it does something.
What's the name of it? What's the name of it? I'm literally ordering it right now.
Right there. Okay, Link's Awakening. Yeah, Link's Awakening. Best Buy is probably your best bet.
This is hilarious, right?
I got it. I'm on it.
You just awoken that premium experience. He loves this.
I got it. I'm on it. I got it right now. It's $26. It's on. Bye.
No, it's $15 at Best Buy.
Oh, Ooh.
if I can find it. See, that's the whole thing. I got a rabid group of dudes that go in there, and I see them as I'm walking, and they're looking at me like, "Got you today." And we try to get the lowest price, and those dudes snatch them up and they leave. And so we got to wait for the restock. So sometimes I hit the dudes with a little bit of bread, but I didn't hit them with the bread because I didn't know that they had that. But I paid the 26. I'll wait. It comes tomorrow. I'm good.
Shout out to Amazon Prime. Shout out to Amazon Prime. But continue, Josh. Continue.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm just having a great time with it. It's I've only played. I'm already further in this version than I was in any of the handhelds. I used to take like a Game Boy on vacation with me, and like the DX version or whatever, and just try to play through and whatnot. And I see some people whining about the frame rate and stuff, and I'm just like, I don't like. I come from the NES days where like games would slow to like 2 frames,
right?
Right, like this is not. I don't know.
It's not. Is it overblown to you? Is it like people? Is it not a big deal, or is it noticeable but not just distracting enough to ruin the overall experience?
I've noticed it for like the less than 2 to 3 seconds it happens, and then it doesn't. It affects 0.
Gotcha.
Like,
Josh, let me ask you a question, right? Okay, so. Is the transition only when is the screen going from, because remember the old game was when you cross from screen to screen, that's when the transition was. So when I was watching Digital Foundry, they were saying like when you went from screen to screen, that's when the slowdown would occur slightly.
That's where I saw it.
Yeah, and to me it feels like it's almost like in certain areas like where you get close to the mystery forest where it actually changes the color of the way the level looks. It's almost like instead of just having like a handful of little squares, like that giant, like whatever all those squares that make up the mystery forest, it's when you transition from that to that, that's when you're going to see a little bit of this hiccup, right? Okay. You don't notice it every time you would be moving to a new square like in the old game. It's only like to the newer areas, and it's so minimal. Like I don't know. I've come to the conclusion that a lot of gamers wake up trying to figure out what they can be pissed off about today, right? Like,
true.
If it wasn't this frame rate thing, it would be something else. The expression on his face, or it's just, I don't get it.
I'm with you.
I feel you, man. No, I'm glad you said that, man. And I got to ask you a question before I pass it to Saul, because I know Saul played it. I just want to get the people to play it first. Is you mentioned a critical thing, and shout out to, again, Nintendo Guru for had it. We had this discussion in reference to my love for Breath of the Wild, right? And for me, personally, just me speaking, like, I love that 3D transition. But I'm hearing from the hardcore Zelda community, like, they're like, yo, 2D Zelda is where it's at, baby. Like, this is it. So, like, your experience, I mean, obviously one is a remake and one is a new game, so we ain't gonna really do apples to apples. But my question is, like, 2D Zelda, though, is more your speed? Like, what's more you? Josh?
I was making sure you were talking to me, too.
Yeah, I didn't ask you because your name, throw your name on it.
So, I think there's room for both. I don't want to be... I love that classic Zelda experience because that's what I grew up with. Right. But for the generation that Breath of the Wild is maybe their first Zelda game, they may look at this and be like, "What is this?"
What's this?
Like, and they may also be like, "This is really difficult." Like, try and maybe not understanding that, like, no, this was what an open world game was back in. I mean, the original Zelda is an open world game, right? But and so it's I think there's a place for both of them, and I think Nintendo needs to continue. I think we need oracles and ages, like the seasons and ages, whatever. They need to come out next year. Like let's keep this going. Let's get like maybe Link to the Past, maybe a new. I mean, look, the Link Between Worlds was new. Like, but the thing is, what we saw was kind of a little bit of a dumbing down of the just the way it was, right? Like, you could rent the items instead of having to get through the dungeons to get that item. Like, nah, let's not make it too easy. Let's keep it back. Like they gave, and what they did on this one, I love. They gave normal mode and they gave hero mode, right? So that if you want to not have enemies drop hearts, and you've got to play this a little, like you got to play safe and smart, and like I'm down with that. Like
no doubt.
Give us those options. But I Breath of the Wild 2, I can't wait for it. If there's dungeons in it, it's going to be the perfect Zelda game in my mind.
Yeah,
like,
that's what Addicts has a contention with the dungeon part. Yep.
Yeah, like, and just some unique bosses, because of those Ganon Blights or whatever, they were just kind of boring. There was nothing. There was nothing.
To be honest with you, like it was the fact that I was playing Zelda after so long. But if you want to like go Zelda to Zelda, Breath of the Wild is probably one of the worst Zeldas.
Oh, we're not going to do that.
It's not
we're not going to do that.
I get what he's saying. It's not a pillar Zelda. You know what it is? It changes the formula up from what you.
It kind of changes it up too much. Like
we're not going to disrespect why I got back.
Oh no, I love Breath of the Wild.
We're not going to do that.
Breath of the Wild's a good game. It's just it's not one of the best Zelda games. Like I think Majora's Mask.
You have to break it down in this way, right? Because everybody likes different things. And you think I'm trolling you when I tell you like I like Skyward Sword? You really think like I'm trolling you, but I'm not. But I really like it, and everybody would
something
look
wrong
at me.
with you.
Yeah, but see, you would look at me and be like, oh, I don't, you know. And I understand it and I get it. But when I went to the store and I purchased it, and I was able to swing a sword with my Wii remote. That's all I ever wanted to do in Zelda. So when they gave me that option to do that, and with my Wii remote, that put that Zelda game way above to me, just to me. So when I was able to do like the bow and the stuff like that, listen, some people, like he said, some people may see Breath of the Wild and say that is the most amazing Zelda, and may go back to this awakening and say, I'm not real too keen on that. And maybe they might get a Nintendo Mini and play the old Zelda and be like, definitely don't want that. But it's like, it's to each his own. But the fact that they did switch it up so much and they did put themselves out there, I wouldn't say that it's one of the worst Zeldas. I think it's one of the best Zeldas, but it's for each his own. Like
I get at as much as Addict's pissing me off right now. I understand his sentiment. You know what I'm saying? But again, I gotta jump in. You gotta understand, for me, the reason why I'm such a defender of Breath of the Wild is like King knows, like Nintendo was in the bushes for me. Like
completely.
Like for me, I stopped with Nintendo probably after Josh's namesake, the 64. Like the 64, and I'm bugging. We didn't get a chance to talk to us about 64, but you know, the 64 for me was like the last joint for me. They had the 4-player, you had the thing, the analog, and then you had the they had, to me, the best wrestling games ever. We ain't gonna. It's, to me, it's not even a dispute. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? The No Mercies, all that was the GOATs to me. So that was my last thing. Cube was okay. It wasn't whack to me, but it was just okay. You know what I'm saying? But since then, I was just like, nah, they doing the same old stuff. You know, their first party's strong, but they're never going to have third party. They're never going to do mature stuff. And when I saw the Switch commercial and I saw Zelda, I'm like, this is Nintendo evolving now. Right. This is what I wanted to see. And I was tired of the, don't get me wrong, like Link's Awakening stuff, that's classic, that's vintage, I get it. But Breath of the Wild showed me, yo, they grew up now. Now they in this generation, you know what I'm saying? And we're doing things that I need to see. Did you play
Twilight Princess?
I played a little bit of it, and again, those are.
It wouldn't appeal to him.
It just doesn't.
Twilight Princess is like one of the darkest Zeldas that's out there.
I get it, but you gotta understand. For me, that time
he wasn't on the Wii. Like
I was not there. I mean,
it's just the art direction that he would not be appeal. It would not appeal to him. The art direction.
Yes,
it was that Twilight Princess is one of the most like realistic art directions that they all have.
Yeah,
for me, again, the reason why I'm such a fanboy for it is because I wanted them to grow up. I wanted them to do what this current generation is doing. And I don't know if it's the new leadership or whatever it was. Switch and this Zelda represented that. That's why I go so hard for Switch now, because I'm like, this is what I need to see. And I love that, like you said, Josh, both can coexist, right? You can have this, for me, the guys who went away from Nintendo and this brought us back. But then they got Awakening for you guys. It's like, yo, this is the classic Zelda that we like. That you know what I'm saying? And I love it. So I just wanted to get that off, you know, off of Attic slander. But I got to get it back to Solve. You copped it. Where you at with it, man?
Well, the thing is, I come at it from a different perspective, kind of as a newbie to this particular game, because I don't have nostalgia for the Game Boy. Like, and I think you as well, Cog, and probably King to a certain extent. By the time the Game Boy was really big, we were a little older, and it was like, it fit more like for Kaibatsu. Kaibatsu is big into, and probably Addict as well. Like, they played more Game Boy than we did. At that point, you know, I looked at the Game Boy as like the kid system. I was like, if I want a portable, I want that Game Gear or that
yeah, me too. I was anti. I was like, I ain't got color. I'm getting this link.
We had that link.
I had every failed console portable that went up against the Game Boy. I had every failed one.
Yeah, so we were looking at Game Gear Link, so like the Turbo Express. So was the Nomad out at that point or not yet?
Yes.
Yeah, the Nomad. So we were like, nah, we don't want to play that. So I never played the original. I know Kaibatsu did, but I didn't. So coming to it now, like Josh said before, like the game it's adorable, and it's such a joy to play. Like it's so whimsical, but then it has all the core pillars of what a Zelda game is. So it's the type of thing, like for me now, I don't have time to sit down with a game that requires me to a super amount of time to get anything out of it. And with this game, you can play for a little while and just have fun with it, and you could, you know, be in the only thing is like in a dungeon, they're going to take you back out to the start of the dungeon, but beyond that, if you're in the overworld, wherever you stop, you can continue from. And plus, you have this suspend also. The Switch has the best suspend in the business.
Yeah, in the business. Yeah, I love this.
I would not know. Oh
my god,
I would not know.
You would not know.
But I have
exactly how does it have the best? Like,
no, it does.
It works. It works never, like the rest work. Like,
no, man, because there's plenty of times on that Xbox I suspend and come back and it'll restart the game.
Yeah, it's not where it's at. Like
it's not. It's not always. It's not all the time. It's not every game.
To be honest, I'm glad you said that. Like, their suspend is literally a pause button. Like it's all a power saving pause. Like it's instant. But continue.
Yeah. So, but I'm loving it. You know, that old school. And the thing is, I do have affinity for old school Zelda because I did play, you know, Link to the Past, and so I just never got played anything on Game Boy. So to play this now and to see what they've done with it, yeah, I was a little initially off put by the transition frames. I was like, oh wow, it's a little strange because Nintendo stuff is usually super polished, but whatever the case may be, it is minimal. It's not a big deal. The game is so much fun. It's so pretty, and it's perfect. I'm gonna be honest. They're selling light with it. In some instances, it is a perfect game to get a younger gamer. You know, get them their Switch Lite, get them this game. It's Zelda, but it's accessible enough that it's not super confusing. So actually, I picked up 2 lights, and
you got that Switch Lite
for my niece and my nephew. I don't.
Let's go. King is happy.
The standstill. You picked up the Switch standstill.
That's good enough for them. They can have.
You know what? It's fitting that they launched the game with the new standstill, and the fact that you know they launch it with that, because when you had the Game Boy, because when I had the Game Boy one, that was one of the games. There was a couple of games on Game Boy that was really like little powerhouse games for the Game Boy, even though it didn't have, you know, it was the monochrome thing and it didn't have the color. Those games, certain games stood out, and that was one of the games that stood out. And the fact that, you know, they're launching the standstill with this game. This game definitely is one of the games, and it was a bright spot when I saw it, and I thought, wow, they are really going for all the gusto. You got the Zeldas in this generation with this. It's really an amazing time for Nintendo, to be honest with you, because we thought they was flat dead, and they actually did a huge comeback. This is a beautiful time.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you, King. I think that's why I was very happy for them. Just like, you know, because again, in my mind, they was dead. I really wasn't part of even though the Wii was successful, I wasn't really there on it. And the Wii U, I just didn't like it also. To see the success they're having with the Switch is just tremendous. But I want to ask Attic, you know, obviously you're a huge fan. You know, what's your feeling? I know you didn't get a chance to pick it up yet, but from what you've seen, like, where you at with Link's Awakening?
I'll pick it up whenever I get around to it. I mean, I want to play it, but at the same time, like, I could wait.
Yeah. Okay. But from what you've seen though, like
you waiting for it to come to Game Pass? tell him that tell him when it comes to Game Pass, you all in, baby.
Yeah. So you from what you've seen though, what have you liked what you've seen?
I mean, I don't not like what I've seen. Like, I can't say like I'm hyped or anything for it, but it's a Zelda game, and I'm about Zelda games, so.
All right, just checking. I want to make sure. Yeah, man. I mean, pretty much. I mean, the Lord's kind of knocked it out the park. I mean, I'm literally in agreement with all you guys. I think Josh is literally saying it's like this adorable love letter remake. You know what I'm saying? It's just killing it right now. And I'm hearing the sales are really tremendous, man. So salute to Nintendo. Look like they got another one. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got. Unless anyone else has anything before we move on. Lord King. Are we gonna have 2 PlayStation 5s?
Is this monkey see, monkey do?
Let's get it.
I can grab a banana too.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh! Check it out. Wasn't it not too long ago? Anaconda and Lockhart was. Oh, that's a stupid idea. I can't believe that idea is even in imagining. Why would Microsoft split the demographic in such a way? I can't believe Microsoft will even think this way. This is the exact thinking that has got them second place as we talk. And lo and behold, when somebody sees such a little bit of power,
oh my god,
they must try to grab. Can you see the king is walking around with no clothes?
Oh my lord, here we go.
Walking around with no clothes. He has lost his mind, and he thinks that Sony, because we know Sony's the king right now, right, guys? Your king has just told you, day and date, we will drop 2. We will drop 2 PlayStation 5s. We will drop a Pro, and we will drop a regular. And this is coming from a source. Well, first, let me tell you, Rand Outdoor has been hitting it out the park.
Oh yeah, salute to Rand.
All right, shout out to Rand. Okay, so when Rand put it up, I looked at it, sent a link over to Cog, and I'm like, this is just fantastic. The topic is up. I want it. It's mine. And the only reason why I bring this topic to you guys is because the level of hypocrisy that I see coming from the media, coming from the little community, coming from super fanboys that was throwing Microsoft under the bus. If they do this, this is outright lunacy. What is the same energy for you?
Boy, you stealing the poll question right now. This is crazy. You literally verbatim me and you in pocket with the poll question as far as mentality. Let's get everybody jumping. So basically, you know, obviously we heard the news come out, and let's frame it. So basically what's happening is the rumors are, shout out to Mods Gaming, lordsofgaming.net, one of the first to put it up there, you know what I'm saying? But the source seems credible, you know, and the source basically said that, you know, he's hearing that they're looking to have the PlayStation 5 and a Pro version hopefully available, you know, for launch when it drops. So let's bring it to the round table. Let's get Josh in on this. Lord Josh, like, you know, with this news, you know, one, how do you feel about it? Do you think this is a mistake? Do you think, you know, you're cool with it? Like, where are you at with this potential rumor?
Hey, as long as it can run Game Pass, I don't care which one.
Yeah, you're ridiculous.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm about to add you right now. Me and you are the best of friends.
As long as you can run Game Pass, you're good. So about the SKUs themselves, Josh. Let's get to that.
I mean, look, I view video games are still business. Whether people like that, a lot of people. I've had people like block me on Twitter for telling them, I'm like, you remember this is a business, right? This is art. I'm like, it's still a business.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to fund that art. All right, like it has. It's the way it is. If they can come out with SKUs that allow people that can't afford the Pro to get into the, they're gonna sell more. They're gonna sell more. Period.
Okay.
If they have one come out at $299 and one come out at $499, it's all going to sell. It's all going to sell. And you're not going to have people that are like, oh, why do we get? I mean, look, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One came out 2 years late because of the economy being bad. So we got these systems that were already dated the moment they came out.
Yeah.
Right. With the economy the way it is, we're more than likely going to get systems that are at the top of the range. So even the lower end model is still going to be screaming. And the high end, I was looking at an 8K TV yesterday in Best Buy, right? So there's a good chance it's probably going to be power and that kind of stuff. That's going to be that TV was $5,000. Okay, so you're not going to be talking about a huge demographic of people that are going to be gaming in 8K. I don't even know if it's going to do 8K, right? I'm just
saying, yeah.
It all kind of goes that way, right? We've seen how this works. So, look, options for the consumer. I always look at them as a good thing because as long as they're not pulling like the Nintendo thing where it's like, oh, this only runs on the new DS, that kind of stuff that's not a good thing to do.
Right.
But I mean, for the average consumer that's still rocking a 1080p TV, as long as the games still run at 1080p 60,
right.
Why get they may not need the Pro.
But let me give you the counterpoint, Josh. I just want to ask you this: what about for those who say 2 SKUs, like King was alluding to, like when that 2 SKUs confuse the market? Like, why split up the demographic? Like, do you feel is it because PlayStation is like just so popular, they've been has such a great generation, it won't matter? You know what I'm saying? Or do you not agree with that thought process?
They've sold what? Probably close to 100 million PS4s at this point. I don't know the last time we saw numbers, but I mean, it's like, and there's 3 of them on the market right now, right? Or is it just 2? Is it just the Slim and the Pro now? I haven't. That's all. Like I go shopping for them, right?
It's 3. It's the regular, the Slim, and the Pro.
Okay. Is the regular still sold? That's all. I wasn't sure.
No, I think they ran out of them, or they're running out of the allotment of them. But whenever they're gone, I think they're dead.
Got you. So I mean, right now, consumers are already used to 3 on the shelves.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah. So you're saying basically what you said, if they're not confused, then they ain't gonna go confused now. Like basically, you said the consumer's smart enough to put that together.
I would say so. I mean, it's what Xbox is the same way. Now Nintendo's the same way. The DS has been the same way.
Good point.
Right. Like it's just the average consumer that's going out, like grandma going to buy for her grandson or granddaughter, sure, maybe they're going to be a little bit like, well, which one should I get? But I think the majority of the people buying it, they're going to know what's up.
All right, fair enough. Lord Addict, man, PlayStation 5 Pro and base at launch. Where you at with this, man?
I mean, as long as I feel like it's better as long as it's a choice from the start and not in the middle. Because at least from the start, the devs can at least like take in mind of that product from the start.
You got a super chat there, sir.
I didn't see. Hold on.
Okay.
I got $2 super chat from JD Gamers. PlayStation ponies, nothing bad to say about PS5 Pro. I think you're on to something. Look, it's cool. If you want that, you can get that. I'm just kind of curious, like, how everyone else is going to receive that information. But, nothing but time will tell. We got to see exactly how that works. If they're going to take advantage of the Pro on launch.
Right.
Because I don't know exactly how that's going to. Because this mid-generation, this higher SKU, it's a new thing. It's not something that's been around for a while, and I think the industry itself is still trying to figure out how to do this.
King, you have a super chat, sir? Not to cut you out.
Okay. And King, this is Stitch. What's up, Stitch, with the $5 super chat. King, one PlayStation is going to be the regular Pro, is going to have the card remake.
Yo, Stitch is a fool.
Oh God, I think you on to something.
That's the one where you're gonna have to swipe the credit card for backward compat. That's what you're saying, Stitch. That's what we doing.
You know what, Stitch? I think the
first
that
one stipulation is not in the needs. Sorry.
I think the first one can't play back compat, but the Pro could.
Wait, let me ask y'all this. Real talk though. Solve and King, y'all gotta bend the knee. What if that is a thing? What if like the Pro does have?
That's fine. We'll add it.
Yeah, okay. I just want to know how that's gonna go.
Listen, no. I will not want needs from him if they put out 2 SKUs and one can't play back compat and the Pro could. That's dead wrong to consumer. That is not consumer friendly. I would shake his hand on that and we just be dead with that together, all together. That don't make no sense. But if that card reader do come out, boy.
Yo, continue, Addict. You were saying about the PlayStation 5 Pro. Addict, is he in the bushes already? Did we lose him? Oh, Addict's in the bushes. Damn.
Okay.
All right. So let's get Solved. I'll get your game. Solved. What do you think, man?
I mean, honestly, I had to laugh when I saw this, just because it's like, really, it's not something that I think they need to do. When there was all this talk about Xbox going that route, I agreed with it because I said, you know what, it's a protection for them if they come out with an inferior base console to the PlayStation 5, because the internet will not let them live that down again. Right. It just won't. Right. So I said, you know what? Give me that $600 console, whatever. It just make sure it's more powerful and by a considerable amount. But then once they decided that wasn't the route to go, I thought about it, and it does make sense, because what you do is that you immediately devalue the lesser product at launch immediately, and you're devaluing the product that you're expecting to sell more.
Right.
Right, so it's a catch-22. It's immediate.
You got a super chat, sir.
Oh wow! Oh, salute! That's my homie, the Dodge Knight, with the $5 super chat.
The £5.
£5. That's right. That's my UK friend.
He do be saying dollar for every currency. I've noticed that.
Listen, I gotta say dollar because some of the currencies I don't know. Yo, so that's my homie, man. The Dodge Knight, man. Every time I put up my gym tweets, he sends back pictures of food and bad stuff that he doing.
That's my man.
That's my guy right there. Salute to the Dodge Knight, man. Hopefully we see you at E3, brother. But continue, so.
Yeah, so shout out to Dodge Knight with the Lord's Day. Yes,
the Lord's Day.
The Lord's Day. So honestly, I thought it was something that Microsoft sort of needed to do to protect themselves from that sort of scrutiny. It's not something that Sony needs to do. And it's just going to create, if this is true, it's going to create a level of confusion that can affect them adversely.
Wait, Solve does not agree with this. Oh, wow. I was thinking you were going there. Okay, continue.
No. Honestly, after thinking about it and seeing, again, I was down for Xbox because of where they stood and what they needed to do to make sure that they were on top power-wise, especially, when the narrative and the talk out of them wasn't, it's going to be the most powerful anymore. It was like, it's going to be pretty powerful. But the words change. So whatever you need to do to make sure you keep on top of that narrative. PlayStation doesn't need to stay on top of that narrative. They can have the weaker console, and it's, I don't think it's going to affect them nearly as much. So I don't think this would work for them. Honestly, I think it's going to serve to confuse people. And the same thing that would have happened to Xbox, I think would happen to them, is that you're going to devalue the console that ideally is going to sell more.
Hold on, I got to back you up, so I ain't going to let you go just yet. My question is, what about people that are going to say, you got to keep the same energy? Like, you were cool with it. When
no,
it was out of Condé and Lockhart, but now there's Sony doing it. You ain't about it.
But I said specifically because of where Xbox is and what they need to do.
He's pretty much saying, since they're the market leader, they don't need to do it.
They don't need to do it.
Oh, okay.
But they're risking confusion by doing it.
Christopher Hart is on your neck, so he's like, this is fraud talk.
I'm openly telling you that Xbox needs the security blanket and PlayStation doesn't. This is what I'm telling you.
So basically, you try to give Hart props. You're like, yo, y'all the leader. Y'all don't need to do this.
Need it. You're literally doing what I said you would do, is snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. Snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, vice versa. Like you're creating scenarios for yourself that can get you into trouble for no reason.
They're doing the Roy Jones. They're playing the piano before the fight. They're going to play basketball before the fight. Remember, Roy got knocked out the night he played basketball.
So basically what you're saying is they don't, as the market leader in a dominant position, they don't need to do this, is what you're saying.
They don't need to do this. And Microsoft, in my opinion, if they had gone that route, I would have understand why they
got another super chat.
Get it solved. It's you.
Out to Jay JD Gamer with a $5 super chat. Microsoft should release 2 consoles as they initially wanted to, and the lower power system will be fine with no devaluation, but it's based on the messaging.
Hey, let me answer
really
them real
bad at
quick.
that.
Yeah,
All right,
let's go.
because I think you on to something, JD Gamer, and let me explain why I think you're on to something. And this is exactly what I think Sovereign's point is. First, they don't need to do it because they're superior, right? At this point in time, so is perceived to be, right? Okay. Now, they're not superior power-wise. They're superior in numbers. They're paper champions. Let me explain.
Oh, my God.
Let me explain why they're paper champions.
Josh, you got to get ready for this slander now.
Okay. It's not slander. It's just facts. Okay.
This is an art that he's about to do.
He's a master at this.
You sold 100 million, but we both pull up in Benzes. See, I want you to understand this part. You sold 100 million, but we both pull up in Benzes. How is that possible? It's possible because the level of services and stuff that Microsoft is selling is actually making the same amount of money you're making with selling hardware. Now, this is where you're going to mess up at if you do this. This is Sovereign's thinking. You're the boss. You don't need to do that. You don't need to devalue one system just to push it out the door. But if you do so, what happens if Microsoft goes back and says, you know what, let's revisit the 2 consoles. Right, let's revisit the 2 console thing, right? And this makes sense for Microsoft because their ecosystem actually is eco-friendly for that. They're trying to get Game Pass on everything, right? So the games actually run the same all over the place. But PlayStation wants to be superior and more powerful. You want to come out with one system first. Make them buy that. Make it be the Pro. Then come out with a standstill later. Nintendo didn't come out with a Pro. They came out with a weaker system. And it's selling like hotcakes. You understand? So I think this is the big mistake that's going to happen. And I know Sovereign is seeing them actually winning. They're winning the race, and they decide to tie their sneaker.
Wait a minute, though.
Go on, let's get him, Josh. Get him, Josh.
There is one major difference, though, in what you're saying. And the Switch Lite is completely handheld.
That's what Other Zinc says. Yep, good.
It serves its purpose in being a handheld system, right? Where to come out later with for Sony to come out later with a weaker system seems like I don't know.
Maybe it's handheld. Maybe it's portable.
Because the Vita was so great.
We ain't gonna do the Vita slander. I'm a Vita fan, y'all. We ain't gonna do no Vita slander here. I was sad that it died.
This is where I'm diametrically opposed to the standstill. All right, because the original is portable, right? And you can also dock it. But they eliminated the whole switch. Remember the whole switch? Click. Yeah, you could take the little thing, switch. You was able to switch it back and forth, right? That the whole word switch means to change, right? To switch.
I got you though. I got you.
Right.
You know what?
Like
the moment you see a switch fall out of somebody's pocket and the Joy-Cons grenade off of that
exactly. And nobody don't want their kids with them. You yourself was hesitant about getting them the big one.
Listen, I'm a hypocrite. All right, listen, let's put this up. Let's put this up right now. Let's put it up. I'm waiting right now for Black Friday to go get my son his standstill.
Let's go.
with the Nerf grip. So
with the fact that he cannot take those things apart and lose them, break off something. Right, yes. I'm with you. I understand that the thought process.
I ain't gonna lie, I've seen a few videos on that light. It's looking like a cop, man.
Oh, Addict is in! Oh, let's go! Addict is in!
So we saying Nintendo can do the 2 SKUs, but Sony can't? This is what we at with this?
Josh,
I never said it.
Josh is saying that. I want his rebuttal. I want Josh's rebuttal.
Yes.
Yeah. What? Wait, I'm sorry. What was the question?
A reference.
Yeah, to be fair though, Josh, it's a little worse on Nintendo because they have a product that does everything, and then they have a product that's only handheld. So, like, it's kind of weird though. Okay, you have a Switch that connects to your TV. And then you have a Switch Lite that doesn't really like the name doesn't show. It's like it doesn't like say Switch TV list or anything like that. So like when you're talking to someone, they're like, "Yeah, the Switch, I'm playing it on I'm playing it on my TV." And you got a GameStop and like, "Oh, Switch Lite." They don't know the difference. They pick up the Lite And, you know, obviously the person at GameStop is probably going to tell them the difference. But let's say that person's brand new, don't know anything. They take that home. It's like, well, how is this supposed to hook up to the TV? Like,
yeah, they don't even do it.
Is it on the box anywhere?
I mean, they going by that little icon. And I shout out to Richard Ledbetter from Digital Foundry. He broke it down. Like the way it's set up, there is no way possible it can dock. Like it can't fit in the dock, from what I understand. Right. And then there's the HDMI thing. It's not even there for the thing, because you have it, right, Josh?
No, I did not.
Ouch.
Well, his son probably has a real Switch. Why would he need a fake Switch?
No, I'm just asking if he had it. I was always trying to go come for the man.
Yeah. No, we have 3 Switches in the house right now. We thought about going and getting the light just so I could talk about it on the show and things like that. My youngest is 11, so I'm not worried about her dropping stuff. And they're huge Animal Crossing fans. Yeah. So to give you your answer on why they would do this, I want you guys to look carefully at all of the games that have come out this year. The main heavy hitters for Nintendo were all 3DS games.
Yes.
The last time they released. There are, like, I'm trying to pull the numbers up here, but like, I mean, the 3DS, 2DS in December of 2017, I think it sold 750,000 units. Right, like the handheld market is very, very profitable for them.
Absolutely.
And if they cannot split their devs between the handheld market and have a system, I mean, look, the 3DS came in at $299, or I'm sorry, $199, $149, and $79. It would not surprise me if eventually we see a Switch Pro come in at the $299 mark.
You gotta stop. You gotta say Switch Pro coming in hot at a $299. What you say? That's my slogan. I
got you. I feel you. The Switch Lite coming in at
hot.
Dropping even down to like what? You guys.
Like 150.
What do you guys like? So the original Switch coming in at like $199, and then the Lite even dropping further, right? So that they can pick up these. They just want investors to be like, yeah, we see sales. Here's more money.
Here's more money. You know? Let me
and the other reason is money. You know how much profit they're probably making on the Lite compared to the original Switch?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're talking about hardware.
They took everything out.
They took stuff out, but you're talking about hardware that's 3 years old now. That was already dated technology when it came out. That's why the price is so low anyway. So there's probably higher profit margins on these lights.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that, like, I mean,
and then you launch it alongside with Link's Awakening. I mean, this
Pokemon.
It's gonna be crazy.
Massive.
Just a quick question, Josh. Do you think that now, since this light is a thing, that in the next year, maybe year and a half, Nintendo's going to announce that they're discontinuing the 3DS?
I think it's discontinued already. I
don't think it's discontinued yet.
I don't think they put it out yet, but I think I just saw something about it. I think the Death Nail is already in.
Because I would say,
directly more. So
I would say if anything shows that the 3DS is in the bushes is just the fact that Pokemon is on the Switch. That's always been their golden goose when it comes to their handhelds. Like, it doesn't matter. We can literally just put out Pokemon. This entire market's gonna sell.
Right.
The crazy thing is that 3DS is still gonna sell gangbusters this Christmas. I just saw an advertisement for 2 Nintendo games with the purchase.
They're trying to clear out.
They're trying to clear
out. That's all they're doing is getting rid of inventory.
Stop. Let me jump in, man, because I know we're going on. We kind of diverted into Switch, but back to the PlayStation joint. It is interesting.
Oh, how did we do?
Yeah, I know. We just went to complete Switch on a PlayStation topic, which is crazy.
I did that, sir.
It's cool. But this 2 SKU joint, man, it's interesting, bro. It's really interesting. I was very surprised when I saw this news. I didn't think. I kind of agree with you. I didn't think Sony would even entertain that. To be honest, you know what I'm saying. But I mean, they're in the driver's seat. I still think whatever they do is going to be fine. You know what I'm saying, for the most part. I think that the question I have is there going to be that much of a disparity power-wise?
You know what I think? You know what I think happened? I think, people could say what they want. I think they were seeing all that hype and stuff games like Red Dead got, because when a game runs better on the X, like everyone is saying it does. Especially, they had people at IGN saying they're going to go out and buy an X just to play Red Dead on the X.
I remember that. Absolutely.
So I think, Sony's like, we still ahead. We still killing the competition, but we want this not to happen as much as it did in the past couple years.
The power narrative. The power narrative is important. I mean, we definitely saw the success of the X. When Digital Foundry got a hold of it, and we saw the comparisons, it definitely helped Microsoft, in the generation with the refresh. The question I got, like I said, is how big a disparity is it going to be between the base level PS5 and the Pro, if this is to be true, and then also,
I think it's like just maybe $100 difference. What could it possibly be right now?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the thing I'm going with, Solve. I think maybe if there is a disparity, like maybe the Pro will have more memory and like a bigger SSD. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to assume the CPU's got to be the same, right? Because they got to have some level of compatibility. So that's where I'm going with it. What you think, Solve? As far as
I think if this is real, I would assume a faster CPU. So along the gonna need that because it's bugging out again.
Yeah, it's just a connection. It's not really as much as like a connection. The stream has been
I better the
you botting crazy now. Try jumping in, jump out, jump in.
You roboting.
Yeah, you roboting a little bit.
You put a bow tie on it?
I mean,
I got a bow tie that's crazy.
When it comes to this particular thing, I'm just curious what the base PlayStation's going to come out as. Like, is the base PlayStation going to be 5 and the premium going to be like 6 to 7? Like, I think like because at the end of the day, like, is the base PlayStation going to be 4? Because I don't think it is.
Yeah, the key is going to be price point.
And maybe they try to make it a little bit cheap when it comes to the next gen, and where the premium is only the SSD and the regular is just a mechanical drive. Like I don't know what they're gonna go with that, because I don't see, especially there's a difference between the Pro and the PlayStation and the X and the regular Xbox. They came out like 3 to 4 years after the base model came out.
Right.
So it was easier to have improvements because technology improved. Technology got smaller. It was easier to make stuff. Technology got cheaper.
Right.
But now, since it's literally coming out at the same time, it's got to be SKUs. It's got to be
super chat, sir.
Oh, no doubt. Attic, you want to get that super chat?
Yeah, just let me bring up the chat again. Just keep talking while I bring it up. I literally just closed it out on
that's cool. We got Solve back too. Solve, you back in the building?
Yes, I'm back in the building.
Oh, you sound clean.
Yeah, you clean now. You clean. There you go. You finish your point, Solve, and then we get Attic with the super chat.
What the? I don't remember my damn point.
No problem.
You were talking about the console. That's literally all we got from you before you bought it out.
I guess power disparity.
Oh, the power disparity. Yeah, I mean, if there is a Pro version, I think CPU will be faster. I think a bigger SSD makes sense.
Right.
And, you might have a few extra flops.
For some reason, I feel like they might take that route, and the premium product only has the SSD.
Nah, they can't. Nah, they
no,
can't.
because
SSD.
they touted that.
They touted that. Yeah, Sony been.
But they touted that. But that was before we knew there was 2 SKUs.
Put it this way.
I mean, this is still rumor though. This is not.
It would be a cataclysmic mistake for one to have an SSD and the other to not. It
defeat from the jaws.
Yeah, that would be ultimate.
I mean, all I'm telling you is that was the way they would save money, because right now, like, I just don't. Like, if you have the base PlayStation come out being 500 because they have an SSD and all the works, and you have the premium that's like 6 to 7, the only people buying that is King. Like 700. That's literally how much like an iPad. Like that's an Apple product right there.
Oh my God.
Like,
get the super chat, sir.
But we got a $5 super chat from Stitch. This is Sony might be on the driver's seat, but financially Microsoft is doing better based on the numbers. Desperate on console sales, I think Sony's scared of the next gen. You know what, Stitch? You might be on to something.
You might be on to something.
I mean, kick ahead, man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put a bow on this. All right, it doesn't matter what they do next generation. It doesn't matter at all. You know why?
Why?
Because Phil Dominus Maximus Spencer is
Man,
in
this
the
man will
mirror
come in here
right
next
now.
podcast with a bow on.
Listen, he's in the mirror right now, and he's throwing his shades on, and it's not the cheap ones that I got on right now. He's throwing on those Louis Vuitton butters, and he's looking back. He's sitting in his chair, and you know what's playing in his head?
What's playing?
Google
Biggie
Stadia.
Smalls is
He
playing.
said
in
Google
his head.
Stadia. Yo, Josh is stupid.
And you know, in his head, what verse is playing?
What's playing?
Is your heartbeat sounds like
Sasquatch. He playing the
Sasquatch.
Biggie right now.
Who shot you?
Who shot you? That's what we
You
doing?
guys is acting all out of sorts. It's looking weird. It's looking spooky in these streets. You guys.
What's funny is Sony running ahead of the curve, trying to kick that door open, and they get sniped in gears. So like,
That's exactly what's going on right now. These dudes are acting out of sorts. You acting like you haven't been to the table before. Like you don't know how to pick up the fork. That boy, put that fork
You know,
down. That's the salad fork.
The chat
You know,
is on your neck
King,
right
when
now.
you talk
King.
about Phil,
They said that he in
Dominus-
the mirror praying no one else leads. Phil getting more names on his 10
you
AAA
know what,
exclusives.
King? When you talk about Phil and how Dominus he is, I don't even remember what you call him these days.
Phil
But
Dominus Maximus Spencer. Say his
there,
name.
okay, Phil Dominus Maximus Spencer. Now I'm start like the way you talk this man up. I'm thinking he's that statue that you got back there. Like,
Listen, let me tell you something. He is that apocalypse coming. That's exactly what they see. Listen, you have to really understand what's going on here. The war may already been won.
Oh my!
Like
we really doing this?
you're looking at him acting out of sorts.
So you're saying he's played chess and he's already checkmated?
You know he did with services. Now, shout out to Josh for saying he don't really care what's going on unless they have Game Pass on it. Now, you might laugh, right? But Josh, if they actually launch and they do have a Game Pass on it, it might be a viable option. I might have the best of both worlds over here. But I remember I told you before.
Look, all I want is Master Chief on my Switch. honestly.
Word.
Like,
That's what I want.
And it might happen. It might happen. But anyway, I think this is a critical misstep. If these individuals decide to drop both systems, which they don't need to do, they must know something, right? They must know that either they're not going to be more powerful, so they have to be cheaper, and they can have something that's close enough in power. Something has been found out that all of a sudden now, what was first bad is now good. Because when Microsoft was going to do it, it was terrible. Now they are talking about doing it, and it's supposed to be good. Something was found out, and we're going to find out later what's going to happen. Can Microsoft be at a price point and a power level that is upstaging the power structure in Sony? I really think something has happened
for them to change. Basically, you say they got some information for them to change course like this.
Yes.
All right.
well, I jokingly said Google Stadia, but look at what Google Stadia does. The processing and everything happens on the cloud side.
Right.
They're just putting the game to whatever resolution screen you have.
Right.
So you get the set top box as long as it's you just set your you set it to the TV you've got or the monitor you've got.
Yeah. Then
It works.
Yeah,
Can I ask you a question? Did you pre-order?
Pre-order what?
Exactly.
He said pre-order what?
Yeah, the Stadia.
Oh no! I
He's
don't have time for that. Are you kidding? I don't have time.
You can beam it to anything, right? You could beam it to your cell phone. You could beam it to anything.
Yeah,
So,
but I
like
can't
when
beam
you're
it
on your
to where
brisk walk,
Mario's at on my Switch.
thank you. So there's no space in your life for it. So there's no space in nobody's life.
Shout out to
Stadia's
Stitch
gone.
with the $2 super chat. Don't forget, Sony already bent the knee for cloud. Oh my god! Listen, man, we'll see what happens. I will admit,
Stitch is
though,
on it today, boy.
yeah, Stitch is on it today.
On it.
I was surprised by this news. Didn't expect this coming. Going to see what the pricing, the disparity is going to be if true. But I will say this: the source that is doing this, that has brought this attention, is fairly reliable because he was the one
credible.
that Zenji. He was the one that first talked about there would be a Switch Lite before the official announcement. So this guy is legit. So this could be happening, y'all. We're gonna see. We're gonna move on. But I'm gonna actually I want to know if you want to set this off. Did you pay attention to what's going on with the sales numbers from Microsoft, sir?
I
Yeah.
love how Pete's gonna do this.
I want y'all ready for this. 'Cause I got my boots on. I want y'all ready for this.
You know,
I got
because-
all of y'all.
You got
Y'all
all
ready?
of it?
We're
Okay.
gonna do it. Let's go.
So, yeah, Sov, what's going on with Microsoft and the numbers?
Microsoft has indicated that they will no longer be revealing live subscriber numbers. Instead, in lieu of that, just focusing on their content and their revenue growth. It would include their subscription services, and obviously when xCloud drops, whatever cloud engagement numbers that they show, they choose to sort of delineate that stuff.
Right.
So, and then, you know, the talking that's as prone to be, you know, once again, Mike.
Yeah, he's going in and out again. Damn, it's a good subject too. He's going in and out. Damn it.
I understand, man. This
Are
is
you on
killing me
Wi-Fi
right
or
now.
something?
Oh, that's the thing. And then,
Okay.
and again, Hangouts look good for a second. It looks horrible.
All right, let's stick with it. Just kind of rehash what you said. See if we can.
So
get
like, I don't have an issue with this because Xbox Live is not what they're anymore. They want people to get into Game Pass, specifically Game Pass, everything into it. So they don't really care about Xbox. I mean, that didn't happen. What's a little strange about it is the shice that they talked about.
Man,
from
it's
E3.
bad.
It's bad now.
Yeah,
So
it's bad, man.
Try one more time
I'll be
when it
back.
come in. Yeah, come out. I'll kind of finish off his point, and then we'll give it up to the round table. Yeah, man. So pretty much, you know, Microsoft is definitely changing the way they reveal, you know, as far as the sales numbers and stuff like that. And basically, you know, they're using a new metric, and the new metric is what they're going to do to the, you know, shareholders is let them know more about the content and services revenue, you know, as opposed to, you know, hard console sales and, you know, stuff like that. So basically what they consider Xbox content and service includes Xbox Live, transactions, subscriptions, cloud services, and advertising, video games, and third-party royalties. So, yeah, they basically shifting their focus, and it's going to
So
be...
we got some bills to pay.
Oh, okay, go take care of it for me. Take care of it.
So we got a $2 super chat by Gamer by Choice. I don't know if you got that one. But
No, go
I
for
thought devs did not want multiple consoles. And you got a point there.
Got a
You
point
really
there.
are on to
He
something.
is on
there.
to something. He is on to
That's a
something.
fact. That's
'Cause
a
that
I'm
was the
sorry
talk.
I'm sorry if I butcher your name. I can't pronounce stuff. We're gonna move on that though. We got a $20 Cedric from Cedric H. Shout out to the Lords on this glorious day. You know, definitely appreciate everyone that super chats us. You would not believe how much that helps, and
That's
appreciate
my
everything.
guy.
Yeah, Cedric is what's up. Man.
That's
He always
my
has
guy.
good questions for us too. Salute to Cedric H in the realm. But yeah, man, so they're changing the metric. You know, this is what's going on right now. This is what, moving forward. You know, this is what they're providing the shareholders and all that stuff. So I wanted to, like Saab said, bring it to the table, man. Like, what do we think about this as the cops go by? They said fraud. The cops got fraud out of here. But that was funny timing.
They switching it up again.
Hey,
So-
I think they changed all this because they didn't want to see that they're selling more games on the Switch than they are the Xbox.
Oh,
Yeah. And you know what? I hope that is the truth. 'Cause
So
they
let's-
got millions of Switches out there.
Let's get it in, man. Actually, I want Addict on this first before we give the job. Lord Addict, man, what is Microsoft finessing? Like, what's going on now?
I think they're low key finessing a little bit. Like, you know, it's not just them. Everyone in every industry does this. I think a little bit it has to do with how they're choosing to, and you know, part of me feels like this is part of a little bit on Phil Spencer because he's been very apparent that he's like, I don't like the console war all the time, and the majority of these numbers are always used for console war stuff. You know, that I'm not saying he did it just because of that. You know, I'm saying that might have been part of the reason because let's not be real here. They're getting killed on the hardware aspect,
Right.
So they stopped showing the hardware aspect. I don't think their numbers are like going really down or anything like that, but you know, they have such a phenomenal game like Gears 5, and then 3 million users is used as a console war aspect, and then instead of it being a celebration because Gears is that good of a game, people was like, 3 million users, that's all, fam. Really?
Yeah.
Like, it's Game Pass. They sold it for $1. What's going on here? Like, and so I think that, you know, Microsoft's like, look, we only really announce this stuff for investors anyway. So let's just stop. Like, I don't, and it's like I said, I am not saying that they're not hiding something, because they clearly are. I would say that sells and stuff down, and that's not necessarily just a Microsoft issue. I would say that if you look around with these hype of the next Xbox, I'd say PlayStation's numbers are going down a little bit because people generally stop buying consoles when around the corner is a new console. So
Yeah, facts.
No, I feel it. I get what you're saying. I mean, I want to give it also to Josh in reference to this. Like, you know, when you hear of a company changing the way as far as the metrics are, you know, given out, you know, to the investors, does this give you any warning signs? Do you feel a way about it? Or do you say, hey, you know what, they're focusing on services and growth and this is what they want to project?
No, I mean, for one, it's Microsoft, so they're still making money everywhere, right? Like Xbox, just one factor there. Two, the writing's been on the wall with what they're wanting to do with this cloud thing. It's going to be like Stadia. They want this thing everywhere. So why put out numbers about the Xbox when they may be selling more on PC, or eventually people may just with their iPhones or their Androids. Yeah, like, I mean, it's basically going to be the Netflix of gaming, and Netflix is on.
Oh, he don't want you saying that, okay, Josh? You're not allowed to compare Game Pass to Netflix.
Right. Of course not. Because you know, I don't stare at Game Pass and go, what should I watch, and then go back to the office. Right.
Exactly.
Get him, Josh.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, to me, that's what it's saying, because it would be foolish for them to try to give Xbox numbers to the investor and say, like, this is what we're going for, when in the reality is they just need to sell those services. That service is where they're making their money now. That's where their focus needs to be, and that's what the investors need to know, so that they're going to throw the money at them, so that they can get the marketing going, get it all, you know, get it all going. And I mean, and look what Microsoft seems to be all about the games. We saw at E3, like they bought almost every developer on the planet. So I mean, you know, like. I think Microsoft is at the healthiest it's been in a long time. It's just that with the numbers we're used to seeing as consumers, or as you know, people talking about this kind of stuff, we're like, wait a minute, what's going on? But I mean, look, I haven't played my Xbox in a while, and Game Pass came out at $1, and guess who's still paying the $15 a month?
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
and I know I'm not the only one like.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's because you know, when something comes out, like, you don't have to run anywhere, let it download. It's like, it's there, like it's there for my convenience. Not to mention on Twitter, when I'm more hyped for what's on Game Pass now than games with gold. So it's just like, a good thing that Game Pass does is games that you kind of had that left eye on, but you was like, nah, and then you just turn straight, just ignore it. When that comes on Game Pass, then you straight look at that game, because it's like, now I can try it.
Boss Move got it chill. So he said Phil Finesse Spencer is out here wilding. I'm waiting for Takashi to name him as a non-trade blood.
You know, unless it's in color, I can't say.
You know what, Barras Moves?
So, boss,
I'm gonna say it for you. You might be on to something.
All right, let's go.
We got a $5 super chat.
Shout out to Victor. Oh, you got it. Get it. You got it.
From Victor Alistine. I probably butchered your name. I apologize. Guess 5 numbers might have been affected by Xbox Live going down. Good show, guys. He really is on to something, man.
I guess. I mean, we'll see. But I got to get King. King said he would have put a ball on this because the word on the street, King, is, you know.
I'm going to mute my mic and eat popcorn.
Here we go. Like, King, the word on the street is King is out here. I mean, for Xbox out here finessing. They're not telling the truth. They scared to put the numbers up to Sony.
On my phone? This is Game Pass on my phone. Wow. Okay. So we're not gonna act like Microsoft doesn't own Minecraft, and Minecraft is the highest, most profitable game in the history of video games. Right? We're not gonna act like that, right? But so if we want to do numbers and we want to act numbers, you want to play numbers. Let's play numbers then. If you really want to do numbers, you don't really want to do numbers. All right. So every company is gonna sit there and do the numbers that best highlights their their boardroom. You know, you have investors, and this is investing time. All right, when consoles is winding down, they're trying to get more people to buy in to re-up. This is the re-up.
Right.
We at the re-up stage here. So this is why you're going to hear Sony talk about 2 SKUs. Why are they talking about 2 SKUs? Because they want to sell to their investors. We can sell 2 times as many PlayStations. Like we did this console, we sold 100 million. We can sell 200 million next time. This is their big key. So Microsoft right now is switching it up because they're going to their investors and they're telling their investors, check this out. Yo, hold on a second.
What's going on?
That's purple. That's the color I likes to see.
Oh, wow. Shout out to Will My Hood with the $50 super chat. Another great show, Lords. Absolutely. Yo, Lord, salute. The cops even.
Shout out to Will My Hood.
Here.
Wow. Will, listen, do me a favor. Put a question in the chat. We're going to read it. Just put a question in. Whatever the question is, we'll read it.
Yeah, salute to Will My Hood. Wow, thank you, brother. Really much
100%.
Much appreciated.
And listen, don't get my little overzealous fake face right there. When you put $2 in, you put a dollar in, whatever you put in, that's fantastic, and we do appreciate it. Will is in a great space that he's able to do that, and I'm thankful that you're able to do that, sir. I do really appreciate that. Let's get back to what everybody's going to show the company in the best light. This is the re-up time, all right? So that you trying to get your investors to re-up back into your company. You don't want investors leaving, going to somebody else and investing in Stadia. You don't want them leaving and going and investing in someplace else. You understand? They want to see that your company is healthy. So you're going to sell them the best healthy numbers that you can possibly do, right? So just like Josh said, you know, they're going to show them the services, the cloud. We're moving on from this to this, and this is where we're trying to reach. Everybody's trying to reach a point where investors is just throwing money at them, and they don't have to be beholden to the parent company by telling the parent company, we can't do this or we can't do that because we don't have the funding.
Sam Walton's on your neck. He said, wait, aren't they mixing all the subscriptions together? That smells like they trying to hide something, King.
Yes, they are trying to hide something. They're trying to hide that they are the most
put that color, he'd have said you on to something.
Exactly. If you'd have put it in comments, see, Cog read that. I didn't.
Continue.
Let me tell you, they are hiding something, sir. They're hiding that they have the most consumer-friendly service that you can possibly have. And if you don't have it, then you're not consumer-friendly. You're anti-consumer, sir.
Sam was anti-consumer.
So what are we saying right now? We're saying that they're hiding the fact that they're so consumer friendly and all of their competition's anti-consumer for not doing the same thing.
You know, listen, everybody's going to do what's in the best what's in the best interest of their company. Okay, I can't tell you that I understand Sony would wish they would have a service of this magnitude to go along with all those systems that they have out there. You understand, if they did have a service that went with all those systems, could you imagine how dominant they would be? But you don't get both. All right, so both of them are both looking to get both. You have to understand, if Microsoft is switching up the narrative, they're switching up the words, they're switching up the verbiage, it's not for you. That verbiage is being switched up for the investor. Right. So I have a guy that's sitting on the fence, and I need his 500 million to invest in my company. He's sitting on the fence, and he says, let me see your books, let me see your numbers. I'm going to cook the books, the best books. So don't tell me I'm gonna come in here with weak numbers. Oh yeah, we sold 31 million systems. And what did your competition sell? Oh, they sold 125.
I feel you. Marketing 101.
Yeah, so let's stop acting like we are in here putting in stocks in these companies. You're playing video games, dude. So buy the game that you like. I'm gonna go buy Zelda. I don't have no stock in Nintendo. So if they fold tomorrow, I still got Zelda.
Fair enough. I'll jump in before we move on. Yeah, man. I mean, it is interesting. Obviously, you know, when this information came out, to me, it just showed like the complete focus towards services. This is the route they're going. They're they're putting all their eggs in a basket, you know, and like you said, I think Attic said, they, at this point, they're in acquisition mode, right? They're in, you know, engagement, subscription mode, getting everybody and under the sun in Game Pass. And I think they are willing to take the hit like for example, like using Gears as a jumping point, a springboard to say, look, it's high quality game. You jump in, we give the first 2 months for $1, but once you locked in, like Josh is saying, how many of us really unsubscribe? They're counting on most people to stay in the ecosystem, as they prep for like the cloud services and stuff that they got going for, for next gen. You were saying, Attic?
It's not even just that. Like people just look at, they're simplistic creatures. They just look at one aspect of it. People that got Game Pass for $9.99 that doesn't have gold. So if they buy stuff on, they download something on Game Pass. Oh, I need gold to play this online. All right, I'll get the $9.99 for Xbox Live or the $14.99 for both of them. Also if they're gaming on Xbox, people act like no one buys games. You get people into your ecosystem with Game Pass. People buy the games on Game Pass, which leads to money. People buy games off of Game Pass, which leads to money. People subscribe to more subscription services, which leads to money.
Right. This is what they're banking on. I want to shout out Will My Hood. He did put a question in. Do you think at some point Game Pass will show up on Switch? I mean, I think so. I think that is their goal. If it's up to Microsoft, they want Game Pass everywhere. This is what they're banking their horse on. That's literally where I'm at with it.
I think it definitely will when they feel like Game Pass is on the pillar that they can make it on it. Like I feel like right now they know Game Pass is popping, Game Pass is hot, but I don't know if they're willing to devalue their brand that much until they feel like Game Pass is to a point where they know they're going to make money everywhere.
I mean, I don't even look at it. I don't think they care about the devaluing thing.
Well, I feel like it would have been implied from the start. Like, but they have been keeping Game Pass off of Switch for a reason. Like,
I don't think it's about keeping off. I think that the rumors from what we heard was that they were in talks early. Nintendo, they're doing something. We don't know what it is, but they're definitely doing something. Maybe it's a situation where Nintendo, the infrastructure, whatever, is just not ready. It's going to take longer to make. We don't know what it is, but we do know there's some level of communication because obviously they're playing super nice. We're seeing Ori over there. We're seeing Cuphead over there. Like, both are playing super friend game right now. They on Facebook liking each other's posts. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're playing real nice. So to me, it's only a matter of time before something happens, and we'll see if it's Game Pass. You know what I'm saying?
I just think that they want Game Pass to be at a certain level before they start extending it to other platforms.
And that very may be the case. You know what I'm saying? That may be the case.
Like they want it to have be able to show, okay, we're making 5 million subscribers while breaking a sweat on Xbox.
Right.
Imagine what we could do on the Switch.
Yeah, absolutely. But then in Microsoft's defense, like, Nintendo got to get to that level of infrastructure where it needs to be for things to work. You know what I'm saying? We know Minecraft is there with the Xbox Live. But okay.
I think the X Cloud is the catalyst. I think once that is established and that is running correctly to the point that is necessary, you just can't take Game Pass and just throw it on the Switch.
Right.
All right. So you have to have that X Cloud that's powering that behind it that can funnel those games over. So they're not actually playing the games, that they're streaming the games. You see, so whatever the device is, once that X Cloud with that Game Pass is on your device, that's what makes your device Game Pass viable. So I think actually what Microsoft is doing is the Xbox itself is a test bed.
Right.
And once the test bed is already, once they build that foundation, they're going to leapfrog from there to wherever. They're going to go to wherever to get those services up. Where Stadia is, they don't need a test bed. They are their own test bed. That Google Strip thing, that's their test bed already.
I think sooner or later, xCloud is going to eventually come on like a little flash drive or thumb drive, and it's going to be like, you can play these, and they're going to have like their own hub with Game Pass. Like that's going to be their number one seller. Like that's what they're going to push for xCloud. It's like we have all the xCloud stuff right there in its own hub, kind of like what they have on PC right now, where it just shows Game Pass and all the games on Game Pass.
Right.
They have it on Xbox. You're gonna load up xCloud, and it's gonna be like you can play what you have, or you can subscribe to this service and play what's on Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a firm believer that Game Pass Ultimate will probably have xCloud in some form or fashion, included. Those two will be kind of married together. But anyway,
I think it's going to be the highlight of it. I think it's going to be the focus around it.
Yeah, I think the premium.
We're at that 119 mark.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what I got on this. Look, we went kind of long with that, and we got one last one. I want to get out of here, but that's what I got on that. I want to move on. Last thing, I'll touch on it, as quickly as possible, which is E3. So there's a lot going on, man, with the ESA, pretty much in their vision and what they want it to be. So there's a new proposal going on right now, to a lot of these guys on the board. And basically E3's vision, as they say on the slide, is going to be a fan, media, and influencer festival. You know what I'm saying? So they say they want to have the biggest fans, top video game companies, leading outlets, celebrities, and influencers and athletes. So they're saying it's changing. So here's the thing that they're saying: what's new, newly conceived design, show floor, digital E3 experience. Industry and media will have their own day, more players and fans. PR is, I hear you clapping with that.
Premium, baby.
PR opportunities for companies to enhance brands, opportunities to market directly to players, celebrity engagement program, attendee app scheduling. So I guess they're trying to get those lines down. You know what I'm saying? Q entertainment to allow for line engagement while you're waiting on the line. Paid media partnerships, and then photo ops and video game tournaments. So a lot of this news has been disseminated.
I low-key think that can save E3.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's been...
Especially, the biggest issue people have of E3, the media, they're like, why are you letting these no-names in here and taking all my time? Giving them a whole day, I think, will solve that. You get in here, but people don't realize how much media there is either. Yeah. You still go there. You're still going to be waiting a long time, but you won't have... Bob and Ross that's in front of you that bought the pass and just showed up and they taking 2 spots. They taking 2 spots. They taking 20 to 30 minutes of your time.
You're ridiculous.
But now you just got what's that dude that's from IGN? I keep mispronouncing his name. Dustin Legary.
Legary.
Now you just got Dustin in front of you. You don't got Bob and Ross. You just got Dustin.
Now it's not been all well received at it. There's been a lot of pushback. Some people feel they don't like the whole paid media influencer thing involved.
What exactly does that entail? What are they talking about?
Again, it says the ESA might be pursuing advertising deals with media outlets. It clearly states it intends to create paid.
So we're going to see a big billboard of IGN?
Well, they said, put it this, there's a show out right now from CNBC. Shout out to Hogue Law. He's got a good video on this.
You got a super chat.
Take care of it for me, please.
You got a $5 super chat from JD Gamer. I can't wait to go to E3 2020. Hoping to get those fan fest tickets. I am too. I'm right there with you. What's the best place to eat? Showroom floor or outside food? Outside all day long. Outside. You're gonna go to the showroom floor. You're gonna overpay for stuff that is way better if you would have just went outside.
Don't waste your time, JD Gamer. But hopefully that we see you out at E3. And listen, if you don't get Fan Fest tickets, make sure whatever they're doing now, it sounds like they're doing some really good stuff. Make sure you book early. Make sure that you set yourself up properly, and make sure you have a thorough plan going through all the way to Fan Fest. To E3.
Yeah. So here's the thing, Attic, which people are upset. They again creating these paid media partnerships with major outlets to increase their growth. But people have the main issue. It says that it enables the ESA to control the content and the messaging. And then it was found out there's a show on CNBC called Tech Impact that was sponsored by the ESA that had their little influence and their little tentacles in. So anyway, let me give this to Josh. Obviously me and you met at E3. E3 is kind of, important to us. So what do you feel about these proposed changes? Nothing is finalized yet, but these are things they are proposing for E3 2020.
Look, I had to walk 7 miles every day between meetings.
There's a lot of walking.
The less people that are there in my way, the better.
It's like I said, that's why I think, giving the media a whole day to themselves, I think that will fix a lot of things. Now, I don't know about this, paid promotion stuff. That's a little bit too much for me. But if ESA probably about to lose a lot of money, this is probably what this is about. They're probably about to lose millions off this lawsuit. They got to get that money back, I guess.
So continue, Josh. So are you with all the aspects that they're mentioning?
If I'm going to be honest, I don't even really care all that much. Like, it's not even like, if I can get there, make my connections, do my networking, get the content I need, I'm fine with it. Like, it, you know, like at this point, it's more about, it's gonna be more about hanging out with the community as a whole, and working my face off during the day. Like that's what it is for me. So as long as that can still take place, I'm down. Now, if media is going to be limited because it's going to be to these, to the paid outlets that they're,
that is a good point.
Then that's I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Attic, I see you chirping, man. What you doing?
I mean, E3 itself, you guys know how I feel about E3. E3, it's the networking. That's all it is. A lot of people think that E3 is about games. It's about talking about games. It's not really about playing games, because the lines are 6 hours long and you ain't gonna wait 6 hours. I can literally watch 2 Lord of the Rings movies before I can play a game at E3. So it's about that networking. It's about
they talk about an
new
app
people
now.
in the industry.
They talk about an app that you'll jump in and.
Oh, they go on the Sony Nintendo way?
Yeah, that's what they talking.
You talk about the app that's going to crash because everyone joins.
That's what that's what I'm about to say when it's my turn. But continue.
Well, I have to they could show me all the writing on a paper all they want. I need to see it in action. I need to see what they keep, what they don't keep. They obviously put this out there to see the reaction from the community, to see what they can and cannot get away from. So we'll have to see.
All right. Lord Sovereign, all this news, where do you stand? Are you for? Are you against these proposed ESA changes?
I mean, everything that has to do with, finally getting a media day back, that makes sense for us. Our reach is continuing to grow, and if we can have access to a media day where we can have events and run around, I'm all for that. So, and the queue up stuff, the app stuff, if it properly, absolutely. Must be waiting an hour.
Yeah, join us.
We can't even really hear you, man.
Yeah. Did you reboot your router?
You sound like that character off Robot Chicken.
Yeah, you sound exactly.
They don't like Solve. They don't want Solve. They don't want Solve to talk, man.
You sound like Atari Pac-Man. Bang, 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 bang.
All right, no doubt.
Sound like someone trying to sing like Morse code.
Boss Moon said Comcast is wild. Yeah, he's stupid. King, man, where you at, man?
Okay, so you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Everybody want to complain about, oh, it's this and oh, it's that. Okay, so you media dudes, you get your day. All right, if it's a day or if it's 2 days, you get your day without the people, the peasants bothering you, right? Okay, fine. See, everybody thinks, and shout out to Josh for saying this. Everybody thinks that we're out there having this glorious time. No, we're out there working. Like he said, he walked 7 miles from point A to point B.
A lot of walking.
Our legs are throbbing. We're getting home. Our feet is busted. We're doing this to get the content.
It's so bad.
I used to exercise.
It's so bad that when you go,
he said we're gamers. We used to.
Sovereign's here with the video.
It's so bad that when you go into this event,
you shouldn't have said that. You should have said that.
The video.
It's so bad that when you go to this event, and you're sitting in the hotel, you got to really look like, what do I really need to take to this thing? What I don't need to take.
This is monumental. We got to solve a video right now.
Hold on. Let's solve. Get it to that.
It's probably gonna sound horrible.
No,
you good? Oh, see, this is what
you know what it was. It was the video.
It was the video. The game.
No, I'm willing to bet that Apocalypse back there fixed his internet connection.
Let's let him talk. Let's back away.
What? My thing is, look, like I said, the spookiest thing about this is those partnerships with outlets. Like, come on, really? Like, you really want? And the funny thing is, this past week, right, I was listening to a podcast Unlocked, right? No mention of this story whatsoever. If you look at the big outlets and their podcasts, there is no mention of this and anything negative about it. Meaning that all of them,
that's because they're all about this.
They're all about this.
So the big brother, they gonna get that access for them.
They're 100% in on this, and that is a spooky thing. Anytime you sell yourself to the devil in order to get coverage, I am not about that. That's one. That is super spooky to me.
I'm looking for the bag, sir.
And I get that. I get that. I get that. I mean, us being a small outlet, if somebody drops the bag in front of us,
then we will capitulate.
I would
Don't
not
say
be
that,
mad.
man. Remember,
So that's what the Lords are doing now. The Lords can get paid for two pieces of silver. We out there.
a couple IOPs back, I got frauded for saying that I'd sell out for the game. The king can sell out for a $2 super chat.
Listen, Addict, as the marketing manager, I would never let you sell out for a game. but
The price must be higher.
but
Look,
I'm sorry, out, sir.
I'm sorry, King. If it's Final Fantasy VII, you just gonna have to hold that. Like,
listen. I'm gonna tell you, sit back, and I'm gonna make sure that you have a whole avatar in Final Fantasy VII for that bag. That's the bag we're going for, not that bag. The other bag.
Continue. So
my beard itself
And
in
then
Final
the other
Fantasy VII.
The other thing that bothers me is this all this stuff about getting celebrities in there. Like celebrities, unless they're really gamers, and I think that number is few and far between. It's obvious how disingenuous they are and how they don't want to be there. I don't want to see Zac Efron up there again playing.
So you don't want to play Splinter Cell with Aaron Judge?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Unless if Aaron Judge really plays Splinter Cell, no doubt.
No doubt.
But I don't want to see Jamie Foxx.
That these celebrities can't be up there frauding?
Nah, man.
You don't want them
because you know what? Because they're actors and they don't even act well when they try to fraud. Like at least give a good performance.
They're
like
not
give
good
a
at improv. Sovereign, let them improv, baby.
So Saab has problems with this.
Yeah, and then this whole thing about so while you're waiting in line in the queue, they're gonna try to entertain you while you're miserable standing online. Like,
you know what? Listen,
I don't know, man. I think
I'm sorry.
I think I'd be more entertained standing in line if like Kevin Hart was cracking some
I'm
jokes.
sorry, Saab. I'm glad that you're here with the face, but I have to hit you with them.
You gotta get the fraud. What's up?
I gotta get you. The reason why I gotta get you. When we was at FanFest and the sailors was out there dancing the first time, not the third time, the fourth time, and the fifth time. Those sailors was out there dancing. I'm talking about the first time we saw the sailors dancing.
Well, I missed that. I wasn't there. Thank you.
They were singing a song. They was entertaining us because we was on a line.
Right.
And they had dudes out there, paid for dudes to dance and sing for us. And you know what? I'm about that. And sing for me. I'm about all of that. Now, if you want to pay celebrities to get up there and to play this game, pay these celebrities. You know what it is? E3 has become boring. All right? I want you to turn it into Disney World. I want to walk in. I want to be wowed. I want to be amazed. I want to look at my app and say, I have a 3:30 appointment to ride a dinosaur. Pause. I want to be there, because Zac Efron is my wingman, and I want this to happen.
Oh my God.
So
I'm gonna be honest with you, and people may disagree with me. I'd rather the Booth Babes come back than this.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, I know Attic agree. You should see that's the only time you get them to smile and you see the Booth Babes taking pictures.
They're coming back. I think they're coming back. But for them to control this narrative, right? Don't we think that they're supposed to right now when they're under the bus? What would you do? Like you could lose it all.
And so this does feel like
desperation, yes,
effort, a mea culpa. Try to fix things after dropping everybody's social security numbers online. I get that.
So everybody has been saying E3 has been failing. Right. What way to fix it? They looked at everybody's list of problems. As media, we was tired of being around the commoner, right? And as media, we were sick and tired of being on this line, and we had to skip the line, and we had to show our badge. Media, let me in. And okay, they had their day. How many times did you see a guy online and he really wanted to be there, but his girlfriend was with him, and she was like, "I really want to go," and he had the face like, right? So you didn't want to have to deal with that. You wanted to go get your video, go get your interview, get the footage, and move on, right? So let's say you got your 2 days to do that. That shuts up the media dudes now.
But right now they only saying 1 day. Right now,
so 1 day, whatever.
Is that enough time, though, King?
I don't care about them.
I think you just have to prioritize. I don't think it's enough time.
Who cares about that? They get a day. Before you had no days.
True,
so you get
true,
one
true.
day now.
True,
So,
true.
Yeah,
Before
like
you would
2
only get like 2
hours,
hours.
like 4 hours.
Before you get like 2 hours. Yeah, that's correct though, King. You're
okay,
right.
but good, you got this now, right? Now, for those people that are tag-alongs with a significant other, they actually can see celebrities.
Right.
They actually have something else to focus on if they're not gamers. So remember, I think sales probably took a dip. Right. So now, don't the sales go up if there's promised celebrities going to be there?
Basically, it becomes a consumer show where they're saying they're gonna allow another 10,000 more of the Gamer Pass tickets, I guess. So basically, it become like a festival event. Like, yo, I'm coming there as a fan to go see, this whole Disney World kind of. Let me jump in. This is good. Yes. Here's the thing. Right now it's in proposal. None of this is finalized, but they definitely are changing. E3 is changing in some way. I'm with Solve though. I don't know about this paid influencer thing. That rubs me the wrong way. If certain outlets is gonna get, only the access and the kind of spin things. I don't know how I feel about ESA sponsoring a show, unless it's Iron Lord's podcast. We could talk about that. We can talk about that.
That's what I'm saying.
We can talk about that.
What's up with this?
You can holler at King, the marketing director, if you want to holler. You want to put your logo? Let me stop. But anyway, all jokes aside, like that part, I don't know. Addict, I don't know about that app because I remember we were there.
That app is going to fail.
I
can already tell you right now.
That app is going to fail because all the people. Just think about this. When Sony was doing it for Sony's experience, and you wanted to play,
that app has never worked.
It never went. Detroit.
How is Sony's cloud infrastructure?
See, we're not gonna do that. But
people to put up here. Let's talk about somebody who can actually.
That was a bad example because of their cloud.
Don't use Sony as the high point, the leader.
All I'm saying is if that was just Sony games and the entire convention is trying to book an 11 o'clock appointment to play Detroit 2 Human and Spider-Man, what's going to happen when the entire convention was to book for one game?
They got Azure Cloud now. You know that.
Well, we see, which leads me to we're going to get into ESA's infrastructure in a minute. But anyway, here's my thing. This is important to me, y'all. Like E3, y'all know, like I got the history with this thing. Like this, as a gamer, it's the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the Mecca. You gotta go to. You gotta say that you did it. You've been baptized. You know what I'm saying? You've been. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of people I met there. I'm responsible. A lot of friendships I gained there is because of E3. So with this. We see that the major publishers are pulling out, right? You see the EAs doing their own thing. Microsoft's doing their own thing. Sony didn't even go last year. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely changing, and we can't front. Gamescom sounding like that new wave. So that all these things are on E3's neck, in my opinion, right? So they have to do something. Here's my issue, Solve. I got to get to it. I just don't like how they talk about all this new stuff. How they not talk about all this information that got lost and they ain't got no game plan?
That ain't happening.
Like how we gonna not act like y'all just ain't had the biggest breach of information by influencers and media, and there's no plan to regain the trust.
There's an investigation going on, sir. We cannot talk about that at this time.
They're not even offering a plan about what. Like they've lost so much trust with everyone's information leaking in the street. And you got the nerve to be talking about how hot it's going to be next year when you come back? What? Like, you better get your network together.
I think King's on to something. I think it really is. It's legal issues. They're not allowed to really talk about that.
All right.
You can't even really touch stuff like that if you're in the middle of a battle.
All I'm saying is there should be at least a statement saying they have avoided a statement of just saying that
that's because they lawyers are like, don't talk about this.
But here's the thing:
we got an email.
Listen, tell him, Josh, you got the email. The dead body's in the corner. Don't look at it. Don't
listen, bro.
Yeah.
You can't tell the people that you lost their information. To be like, yo, but next year when you sign up, fam, woo, we gonna have, we gonna have Kobe in there, we gonna have Shaq. Like, no.
Josh, let me ask you a question, okay? Obviously someone such as yourself. Now, when this was leaked, Did you ever for once think that you weren't going to E3 the following year?
Josh.
I did consider it for a second, yeah.
Look at that, see?
And then you realize that, oh man, it's E3. I kind of have to go.
Yeah, but think about how many people are not going to say, they'd be like, yo, I'm never trusting them again. I'm never going back. Think about the Europe.
People that ain't going didn't really have to go in the first place.
To your point, you don't ever lead off a conversation with your wrongs. All right? You lead the conversation off with your PowerPoints. All right, and they will address the wrongs at a particular time. But first they got to tell you what new rides that they putting inside. They got to tell you that they do have the Pokemon exhibit. They got to tell you that this stuff is available for you, and you too can see the lifelike Resi Fazame walking in the crowd.
And at the same time, they're secretly emailing all these people that's in the lawsuit.
I'm sorry, I do apologize, but they're being sued. At this point, and they can't address that. We can't talk about that right now. But when this matter is clear, we're going to tell you the new safety precautions that we got with the Azure Cloud system.
What it's going to be, it's like we can't talk about that. But when this is cleared, you can read anything that was made public, but that's about all.
Exactly.
Listen, man, I feel a way about that. Like I said, they're in a lot of trouble. And they got to make
That's
sure.
the reason. I guarantee you, they lawyers said
and
don't
you guys
even mention this.
may be right. All I'm saying is, until they get that situation resolved, they cannot expect a lot of these game devs and influencers to be like, yes, I'm coming back to the E3 is on notice right now. Like, that's all I'm saying. So we'll see.
If
we'll
they're
see
not there, we're gonna take their slot time in the morning. I do appreciate you standing on your morals. But you send me that media credential. Don't you worry about me, sir. I'll be there right early in the morning.
The things the Lords will do to sell out. Moving
I'm
on,
just glad that Key's coming around the sellout.
No. See, listen. What you heard was they put new stuff in the yard. Okay, I want the media credential. If he don't want his media credential, I will use it.
Anyway, let's get the poll. Let's get out of here, man. So that is it. New ILP poll with the latest rumors regarding a PS5 and PS5 Pro SKU launching simultaneously. Do you think a dual console strategy is the correct approach by Sony heading into the next gen? The choices are no, confuses the market. Keep that same energy when Lockhart and Anaconda was announced. B, yes, give PlayStation gamers options and price and power. Or C, I don't care to the real powerhouse. The Switch Pro is announced. That is the choice. Those are the questions. Those are the choices. Please rock the vote when it goes up on IOP later on Twitter. Lord N64Josh, an absolute pleasure to have you in the realm. Where can the fine people find you? What you got going on, sir?
It's N64Josh everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Farmers Only, everywhere.
Farmers Only.
Farmers Only. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm done. Let me mute. Oh my.
Salute, man. Good. What you got going on, sir? Besides Farmers Only, what else can we find?
Yeah.
Look, that was too much for himself.
N64Josh.com.
Yes.
Nintendo Powercast is the podcast. Music is Until Today.
Woo!
Yeah. Check out the book on Amazon.
No
Another
doubt.
Castle.
When's the podcast? So let the people know. When is it?
Podcast is it's usually Mondays, but it's going to be Tuesdays the next 2 weeks. Live at twitch.tv/N64Josh around 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you can find it after the fact on YouTube and iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify.
No
Podbean.
doubt, man. Absolute pleasure to have you around, man. Good.
Thanks for having me, guys. This was a blast. It was a blast.
Mad fun, man. Absolute pleasure meeting you. Like I said, I was with the Ghost Supreme, and we was linking it up. I was like, yo, I like this dude. He's very insightful. We got to do it, man. We got to work together, do something. So salute to Josh in the building. You already know.
I just added you right now.
No doubt. King is a fan. King is a fan now. Everybody's a fan. That's what's up. So, Lord Addict, where can the fine people find you? You at Farmers Market too? You want to give us some information?
Man, I don't know. I might have to go on Farmers Only. Let me bring that up, man. Let me bring that up.
You're out of control right now.
You can follow me on Twitter at Lord Addict ILP. You can definitely check out my my Borderlands 3 review on YouTube, Gaming Addict. You can also, you know, and for those of you that like reading for some reason, you know, that'll be up here shortly at the LordCognito.net.
That's right. Plug that.
You know,
plug
definitely want to, you know, really thank our guest Josh for coming on. He was a great guest. I'm going to put his Twitter in the in the chat, so you can go follow him, show him some love, and definitely appreciate everyone that showed up and all the super chats. I definitely appreciate all that too.
Absolutely. Lord Soft back in the building, some technical difficulties. But yo, I ain't gonna front off. When you had the camera on, you were silky.
As soon as you turned it off, your mic.
As soon as you turned it off, so the Lords are trying to tell you something.
You ain't telling me nothing. My stuff on my stuff fine. I don't have to do that.
Shut up, Attic.
You're gonna see that green avatar. That's all you gonna see.
See, he potting. He potting. See, look.
Back in the bushes.
Back in the bushes. Back in the bushes. See, you had to. As soon as you put the camera on, they was like, "Yes, this is what we want to see."
This is it. So it's over now.
That's
so
what
you're
it
back
is.
on camera. That's it.
That's it.
I'll be quick. Shout out to Josh. Thank you so much for coming through. Everybody, you know where to catch me. That's it.
Hey, thank you. Good night. He did the rest.
You gotta get that out as quick as possible.
Quick as possible. Go Supreme in the building. Little day, man. Oh yeah, Go Supreme's in the building, Josh. That's who was with me that day when I saw you. Go Supreme in the chat. Yeah, salute. Yo,
Good to see you, brother.
Lord King, what's going on, sir?
Let me tell you something. First of all, I want to thank you so much for being here, Josh. I didn't get a chance to meet you at E3, but I had to hear it for Ghost Supreme the whole time when we was driving. That's my wingman, and he's driving in the Corvette, and he's telling me, "Man, you missed it, man. Oh, man, you missed it, man." I'm like, "Shut up, what I missed?"
Yeah, y'all missed it because Josh, them drinks was flowing. We had it was late.
and to know that he's a fellow amiibo collector, he's a Nintendo lover, but most of all, sir, you're a custom cabinet maker. So listen,
I hate most about me. Thanks.
Listen, trust me, when I show you the pictures, you're gonna be like, you gonna know why I'm your friend. Excuse me, but check it out. You see that statue in the back? All right, go to LordsCognito.net right now. You can follow me at King David OTW on Twitter, and that's the only place you can follow me. But we have more statues like that and other statues that you see all around every Thursday. At King of the Statues. Yeah. Listen, guys. We joke, we play around on this, but everybody that's here, everybody that supports, even if you don't support you as far as financially, you're supporting by being here. And I do appreciate each and every last one of you guys. The jokes is fantastic. And I know I joke around saying I don't read your stuff, but I read it. I may not mention it out loud, but I read it. Thank you for coming through, and I do appreciate everybody that's here.
No doubt, man. Salute to the chat today. Everybody was on fire. Again, you already know. Hit them likes, notifications. Share the thing out, y'all. Share the thing out. If you enjoy the content, please share this out as much as possible. Spread the word. Trying to do things on the Lord's Day, and you already know we got the LordsCognito.net articles up there, like King said, King of the Statues, all that good stuff. If you want dimensions, you want more information on the statue, please check that out. It's some great stuff and great riders right now, man. We got a lot of things in pocket. Lord Mod, shout out to Lord Josh, Lord Dizzy. Please send Lord Dizzy your love, man. He's definitely in his recovery mode, and like I said, if just send him some cool words, man, just to get his spirit up, we would appreciate that. And of course, Lord Frost, Josh Redding, Hector, Macho, everybody, Sonaldo, and of course the stream team. I seen Old School Style in there. MJ the boss just woke up now, jumping in the chat late hangover college boy at that frat party in that new frat. Nah, salute MJ the boss, man. He just waking up, catching us late. But you can catch him and the entire stream team, hosted by PD Los Angeles. They have a roundtable with the stream team that is on Monday nights at 9. It's very cool. If you're interested in streaming, learning about it, how to get started, please check those guys out, man. Can't say enough about them. They're doing well. King of the Statues up. And of course, if you want that Destiny talk, that looter shooter talk, me and my man Ebontis every Friday, we're up there talking on The Last Word. Fantastic show. You get to see me and him go at it and me prove that he's wrong all the time. No, I'm just joking. But all jokes aside, please check that out. That's all I got. If anybody's got anything else, no, football is long gone. Everybody enjoy your Sunday. We are out. Peace.